What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. For those of you who do not know me, I just wanted to say thank you for coming by and taking some time out of your day to listen to great conversations with interesting people throughout our city. You know, this is my podcast. I talk to interesting people about what they do and how they got to that point in life. And I'm proud of it. You know, I'm proud of the podcast. I'm thankful for the podcast. Couldn't be more thankful. And I put a lot of time and effort into this. You know, this is a lot of work, and to make it, the quality it is, it takes some extra time. So, furthermore, I don't know if that's the right segue, the right words or not, but if you guys could take a second to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, that is a huge help for me. Wherever you're listening to this podcast right now, whether it's YouTube, hit a subscribe on there. If you're on Spotify, hit follow. Apple Music or Apple Podcast app, you have an option to leave a rating and review. And if you enjoy the podcast, hit 5 stars, leave a couple of nice words on there about what you like with the podcast, and that will go a long way. I just appreciate anyone who takes the time to do that. And if you have a second, I urge you, it's very free, takes a couple minutes, and it is a big help for me. More important news in the world than that. March 15th, 2021, Turner Dairy Farms is releasing its next limited edition flavored milk. We got chocolate caramel. I mean, what more could you want out of a milk? 2 flavors that are absolutely delicious. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to slide a little bit of that into a cup of coffee, get a little crazy, but shout out to Turner's as always. They keep coming out with just incredible flavors, awesome merchandise. You could find all that on turnerdairy.net under the shop. A lot of cool merchandise now. I mean, they're dairy. You know what I mean? Like, Turner's is that's a name that rings a bell in the city of Pittsburgh. And now they got a lot of t-shirts and, different merch that you could buy, because that's how people ride for Turner's. And that's how I ride for Turner's. So shout out to Turner Dairy Farms. Hop on Instagram, follow them at Turner's PGH, and keep up to date with the good stuff that they got coming out. Couple things before we get to this week's guest. I just traveled for work. I had to take a ride down to Indiana, and I've never been out there, so I took a little road trip down there. One day, 5.5 hours one way. Had to measure some pipe and then, just drive back. And it was cool. It's always cool to get out of the office and, kind of see what's going on there. But the most exciting part of this whole trip is I finally got to experience White Castle, like a real White Castle meal. The only time I've ever had White Castle before was on Fremont Street in Las Vegas, and who knows if that was, up to par with, the White Castle that you'll find in Springerville, Ohio. But I pulled off, had a White Castle, 4 sliders, medium fry, and a drink. And I'm going to tell you, it's great. Absolutely, it's great. Is it better than anything else? Fuck no, but it's good. And, it's worth it. I grew up, I've watched Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, and we don't live around White Castle. So it's like, it's such like a foreign idea. It's like In-N-Out Burger. But honestly, I'm not a crazy big fan of In-N-Out. God, strike me dead because I don't like In-N-Out. But it's not that I don't like it. I just think it's very overrated. But White Castle, it was delicious. I guess for their Lenten menu, they had a crab cake slider, which was honestly better than the regular burger. It was crazy, but I got to experience White Castle. It was fucking awesome. Everything I'd hoped for. Will I drive 3 hours to go to get to it? Absolutely not, because a Wendy's burger will knock it out of the park. But that's neither here nor there. But that was it was a good time. I was excited about that. Definitely excited about it. But the reason that everyone is here, and the most important reason, is this week I sit down with a fantastic guest. I sit down with Ben Bartilson. Ben is a restaurant owner slash awesome guy. Restaurant owner slash awesome guy. And Ben owns Yoli's Cucina and Craft House up in Jefferson Hills, up kind of by CCAC. And it is a fine Italian establishment. And whenever I say Italian, they got delicious pizza, they got delicious pasta, they got delicious sandwiches. And, I'm a frequent of there. I've heard about Yoli's. Honestly, I think the first people that told me about it were my parents. Anytime I call my parents, I'll be like, what are you doing tonight? They're like, oh, we went to Yoli's to eat dinner. And I'm like, fucking Yoli's. Like, I hear this name all the time. So I drove over with my wife and we had Yoli's. And let me tell you, amazing. We had a pizza. Their pizza is spot on. We had some of their pasta, which was, exceptional, and their wings were amazing. The whole thing was really, really great. So Ben grew up in McKeesport around my brother and my brother's friends, and I've always known of his name growing up. I knew that he was around the same age as my brother, so it was just a name that I was familiar with over the years. Fast forward all these years, and Ben, we become friends on Facebook. After my mom tells me, it's a kid from high school that Matt knew. He has this restaurant, and I'm like, if it's that good, my parents are going all the time. I wanted to check him out, so me and Ben became friends on Facebook, and I start to see what he's doing, and I go to Yoli's a few times, and every experience I've had there was amazing. So here we are. I hit Ben up, and I was like, let's talk about it. I need to know how you kind of came up with this. I kind of want to hear about a kid from McKeesport coming up and having a successful restaurant. And a successful restaurant that has made it through this pandemic. So do me a favor, go on Instagram, follow Yoli's Cucina at YOLISCUCINA, and make a trip over there to check out what they got. And I'm telling you, they're doing a Lenten menu that will just slap you in the mouth with taste. They got a fish sandwich that's called the One That Got Away. It is a full Italian loaf. It's crab rangoon spread, 2 8-ounce Yingling battered haddock, 2 fresh crab cakes, red pepper aioli, and provolone cheese with spring mix, Roma, and red onion. And I haven't got to have it yet, but I will be going there Friday to grab one. So me and Ben sit down this week. We talk about everything that you need to know with how a restaurant owner navigated through this pandemic. We talk about, what his inspiration was, who he learned to cook from, what his name means, and, all the other stuff along the way. So without further ado, episode 154 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Ben Bartilson of Yoli's Cucina.
Telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast.
37.
So my brother is 36, or he's 37 now, but he's 6 years older than me. So it's like I always had everything filtered to me from him. I knew all his friends growing up. He was cool. You remember whenever people used to go pull this up right up to you, get comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you remember when people used to hang out at Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
In White Oak, and then whenever they built the Wendy's across the street, people migrated.
Yeah, we'd go back and forth in the summer.
Yeah.
But after basketball games in high school, it was always Wendy's, always.
But I remember, he was, he always took me. I always and my dad was the coach for forever.
So I knew your dad So the only reason I knew your brother, I didn't play for McKeesport. I played for Port View.
Yeah.
Tommy and I were he played a year younger than me, but we're kind of the same age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd see you running around. You had a bowl cut.
Sick bowl cut.
Yeah, it was a sick bowl cut. And you run around, and your dad was there. But I didn't So that's how I knew all those guys, because I went to Catholic school until 8th grade. So when I went to McKeesport, it was hard.
Yeah.
I didn't know all those kids go to school since kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know? But ski, and it's almost like two groups of people, because they were a year younger than me in school. But then you get your way with.
Where did you go to Catholic school?
Yeah, St. Joe's in Portview. Yeah, it's not there anymore.
So you didn't go to McKeesport until 9th grade?
9th grade, yeah.
So you started high school.
My mom taught, that's actually how I know Ralph. She taught Ralph in 6th grade. She taught at Cornell in McKeesport. So she actually, I was just making fun of him on the way out here, because there's like this cancel culture with Pepe Le Pew shit today.
Yeah.
And my mom called him Pepe. Like, that's what he wore his hat. And she called him Pepe all the time. I was like, it's a little bit of you died today, But anyway, so my mom didn't want to have us. Like, she didn't want to teach us.
Yeah.
So I have two sisters. We're all 3 years in a row school-wise.
Yeah.
I'm right in the middle. So we went to St. Joe's.
Kids are 3 years different?
Yep. My oldest graduated 2000, 2001, 2002. So my younger
sister. You're the middle.
Yep.
Okay.
Gianna graduated with your brother. That's how I knew your brother.
Okay.
Well, besides Bazan.
Yeah, all them other people. Yeah, it's so weird, because it's like I see, like whenever I was younger, I didn't like, I was young, so I didn't really pay attention to shit. Yeah. But it's like I'm an adult now, and I like observe what people do, and like you have a business, and it's like, we obviously have I've known you through mutual people, but it's weird how everyone has these, like, everyone just keeps in touch. It's like, I always had that t-shirt, once a tiger, always a tiger. And it's like, everyone from McKeesport just is like.
It is. So my sisters always used to make fun of me. They're like, people go in life, and like you have friends for a period, and then you go and get new friends and kind of like leave some friends off. We didn't leave anybody off like in our cruise. You know what I mean? Our wedding party had, Beth and I had 38 people in our wedding party.
Oh,
now, the way that life goes, I don't talk to them all the time now.
I know,
It's like 10 years
But
later.
it's like people that you've shared like crucial time with in your life.
It's like if you pick one, that's why we had 38. If you pick one, you got to pick everybody.
I know. I had like, we had offset numbers because, I'm kind of the same way. I didn't grow up in McKeesport, but I had friends through McKeesport. And then I also had friends in Elizabeth Forward. But like, I was always someone who was like, I was a social butterfly. I was friends with all the cliques of kids. So I don't know. I had a lot of friends, and I still talk to people to this day. But I think I had like 10 people in my party, and my wife had like 5.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is.
So mine were friends. Beth's were cousins. Like if she asked one cousin, she has a real big family.
Yeah.
But mine were like they're still all my boys. We just don't. Even Bazan, best friend until I die. We. Different lives, work a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
you still
we're
get
all
that
adults.
random text with like the YouTube video, some shit he did in college.
Well, that's how you know that those are like the real friends that stay around. It's like, those are the people that could.
They don't need you to check in.
Yeah, it could be a month away, but everything's still good. It's just like, and once you are together again, you pick up like you left off.
God, yeah,
it's good.
It's sick.
That's what it was like cool about. Like I felt growing up like all my brother's friends. Were always just real nice to me, and kind of took me under their wing, and that's why like I still talk to Dorian and like all these people I still talk to, and it's like it's cool to it's cool to see that I see people, and people hit me up like Mike Belcher the other day was talking about how he mentioned my mom like me doing the podcast and shit, and it's like fucking Mike Belcher I only knew because of Bob.
So I knew Bob real well, and then I didn't know Mike, but apparently my kids went to my daughter went to the same grade school as his daughter, and there was like some daddy-daughter donut day.
Yeah.
There was a lot of D's.
Daddy-daughter donut
ton
day.
of D. But I met him. I was like, I know that's Belch's brother. Like, we didn't really, he was younger than me, and but he was always around too. You know what I mean? So I knew it was, and Belch still, him and Bazan are close. They work together, so I see him a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, like people still like people still keep in tabs, even though it's 20, it's a whole lifetime later. Now, so I like for people that don't know, it's like you own Yoli's. Say it again.
Cucina
and Craft House.
And then we also Yoli's Pies and Rollies is our pizza shop.
Now, where I'm curious, I want to know where all this came from. Obviously, I know that at Yoli's restaurant you have a bunch of the sandwiches and everything named after family members and stuff. And, I make assumptions for you because, I feel like we know each other enough. I could make assumptions, but it's all from the family, I'm sure.
Yeah, a ton of it. A lot. So there's actually a lot I think about that my family does that my grandma did it. So I think all the time, I don't know how she cooked for like 40 people in a little house in Christie Park, like every holiday.
How many aunts and uncles do you have?
So
Big family?
my mom there were 5 kids.
Yeah.
And then
a mess of cousins.
Yeah, like I can't even count anymore. Now, like we're old. Like both my sisters, one lives in Florida, one lives in Philly.
Yeah.
And like a lot of cousins moved. My grandma's no longer here. But I look back and I think of like the big kitchen I have at the restaurant, and like I have some space and I could cook for a bunch of people coming in. She had nothing. She's doing like, I want to do brajol and I want to do her dough ball soup, but there's like, I don't know how she did it in her kitchen. Like I can't do it with my staff. And if I can't have somebody, there's like a couple things that I'm afraid to ruin. You know what I mean? Because it's so close. And our family's always like, oh, why don't you have brajol? And I'm like, I'm nervous because my Uncle Dino kills her brajol. So it's like real thin steak. My Uncle Dino, so it was my pap first that made it. My grandma wasn't the only one that cooked. My pap cooked. She did all the heavy lifting. You know what I mean? She cooked. Cooked all the meals and all the big parties. But my pap could get down. He watched us when we were a kid. That's the first time I saw somebody put garlic salt on toast for breakfast.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It was a sick move.
He's sick.
So our friend garlic, like when you come to the restaurant, you already know it's like nobody would sit in the same pew with us at church because we smelled like garlic so bad. Like that's how much garlic my mom used and my grandma used. So brajol is really just I know you've probably seen them before somewhere. They're like, it's like rolled up steak, but inside it's like you could put whatever you want. Like some people do like raisins and stuff. I don't do all that. Our family does. It's parsley, and I told myself I'm not going to give too many recipes.
Yeah, don't give any recipes away. You got to have some secret recipes.
The way that my uncle does it and like the ingredients that they use on certain things like that, some of my grandma's soups, it's like to do it the way that she did it and then have people like the tedious work and pay the labor. I'd have to charge so much to where like I don't even know if people would get it,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I don't know how she did it.
It's like the old ladies that were making like pierogies and raviolis and all that stuff because it's like such a long drawn out process.
That's why everybody says you guys make your own pasta, and I said, I mean, I can, but can you imagine like how
that scale you would have to do?
And I know hats off to the people that do it, but it's just not. Your place can be whatever you need it to be. And
absolutely.
Ours is more like we're not. We're definitely authentic Italian, but we're not like
you have to like. I
have more fun with stuff. You know what I mean? Like I play with recipes. And
absolutely.
That's what I would say. I'd say I'd have more fun with it than like.
Well, I feel like if you were like very very conscious about that and like making your own pasta all the time, it's like you almost like kind of get pigeonholed because like that's something that you need to like take the time, put the love and the care in, or you don't get the quality out of it. So it's like you don't want to cut that corner and just have to do all the pasta and still have this.
That's
whole
the whole
menu.
thing. What you just said there with the pasta, with like the brajol and my grandma's dough ball soup and a couple other things. If you can't cut the corners. Like if I don't skim the fat on her soup, like it's greasy and you're not gonna. But it takes time. You can't, as busy as we are, and we're blessed to be busy. You can't cut corners on stuff like that. Or else
people know.
It has to be something like if it can't be, it was great because Ben made it and I'm not there that day and the 2 kids that made it. I have to have stuff too that they can, not easy, but you know what I mean, that it has to be consistent. That's
you
the
can
hardest
replicate
part.
in a consistent manner.
Yeah, the hardest part of opening the restaurant, besides like, all the equipment, the heavy lifting, that kind of stuff, is I never cook with recipes. I never did. Like my grandma either. Like if you read her recipe cards, there's like a pinch and a punch of this. Like it was impossible to know. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? So when I'd put some stuff together too that wasn't family recipe related, and I did the same thing. Like I'm just cooking, and then the next time it's like way more garlic, or the next time it's like. It was the first time in my life I really had to buckle down and like put a recipe together. That's why I like cooking. My wife's a very good baker. Baking, you got to be super precise. The only thing, the fresh dough, you can't mess around with that. I heard you talking with Anthony on the Badama.
Badama. You said it right. You got it.
Well, I never did, and I'm glad I listened to the episode.
I didn't even know about that place for a minute. But
real quick, I don't know, I'm going to jump around a lot today.
That's all right.
Yell at me if you want to, but
that's all right.
On that episode, real funny. He was like, the dude he was talking about at the coffee shop? Matt Davis? Graduated with him.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, graduated with him. He's from McKeesport. We were in a math class. We went. I golfed with him and another dude with a teacher in like 11th grade.
Wow.
I haven't seen him since high school. He's a super dude.
You were on the golf team?
No, we went. No. I played baseball a little bit, and then when you're a kid and like everybody,
You try it out.
I made the team, but like I didn't play anymore. Like,
Bro, my dad had me in. My brother played basketball his entire life, so I was playing basketball on the Boys and Girls Club, and it's like you ever watch And One basketball?
Yeah.
You know that dude Escalade?
Yeah.
I was like a shitty broke down version of that. Like what I mean? I was just a big dude that was under, but I still missing shots. But those were the funniest sports.
Cook in my kitchen just got a 2001 Escalade. It's so beat down, but it's an
sick,
Escalade.
though.
He's still like
Fuck
I got an Escalade. I was like, am I paying you too much? And
Bro,
I saw the card, and I was like,
I was whipping a '92 Buick for a minute.
He's real mad about it. His name's Kevin. I call him Tony because of Sopranos. He's like, nobody's gonna call me Tony. I said, I'm gonna call you Tony every day
There
till
you
it
go.
sticks.
That I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with a car that ain't there ain't nothing wrong with a car for 15
He's
years.
he's like a 19-year-old kid.
That's the best thing you could do. That's dope. That got some character.
When you were talking about like you got me weak with the Escalade comment though. But when you're a kid, like I actually I joke all the time that I peaked in Little League. You know what I mean? Because like I was good. Like I made all-stars. Even like like early on 8th grade, 9th grade, and then like boys hit real growth spurts. You know what I mean?
Then you're like,
when we're all like an even playing field at like 12, I was crushing. But then you got to run. Like I was always fat. So you tell me,
me too.
I was a goalie when I was a little kid, and I was great.
Yeah.
Like the goalie got to run. Where am I going?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. That's fucking funny. So I mean, being a little kid. So you said you were always fat. I was always fat. Now
I've gone through like
I get it. Peaks and valleys, or what's that? I don't know the expression. What? So like, I mean, is your family like you're always having? Are you just having like Sunday dinners and shit like that?
I mean, it's a shame with like the way that life is now, where it's like a million miles a minute. But when we were kids, it's like one of my fondest memories. Like you just banked on it. Like we all went to, my grandma's house was catty corner from the church we went to. We were Catholic.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, Chrissy Park at all?
Yeah.
Like she's kind of like right by. She worked at. She cooked at Tilly's forever. That's like that was her.
Okay.
She was like a prep cook at Tilly's, but. St. Patrick's Church. So we'd go to church in the morning, and we come back. We'd have, even before dinner, there'd be a bowl of sauce, fresh bread, and fried meatballs. My family fries their meatballs. So you could do them in the sauce, but like when we're dipping, they're fried. So when I first opened a pizza shop, I wanted to do fried meatballs. Well, it ain't the same cooking for like 600 people. So like if I'm prepping all these meatballs and I fry them, and then like it ain't, it dries out. So like, but when we were kids, like that was you knew as soon as you walked in, you smelled the sauce, you smelled the meatballs. And we just cut up all day. I had a bunch of cousins. We were all the cousins were within like 4 or 5 years of each other.
Yeah.
So, and it was a little ass house. My cousin Dawn was always real bigger than me, but we were only like 6 months apart.
Dawn DeGregory.
Yeah, you know Dawn?
Oh yeah. And Dina.
Yeah.
I know, believe me, I've been around the way. For being a younger one, I've been around the way.
I didn't know if you were researching me or not.
No, I knew it all.
Yeah, so Dom and I were the same age, but he was always bigger than me. His brothers would hold him down, let me beat on him a little bit, and then they let him go. That was every Sunday. So that was a tradition. And then life happens, and people move away. And my grandma passed away. My pap passed away first. And
when did that happen? How old were you?
So my pap, I was in 6th grade when he died, and my grandma, I was out, I was out like it was jail. I was out of college and everything. Whatever year, she died the year that the Steelers beat that's how I date a lot of shit.
That's all right. That's how I did too.
The year that the Steelers beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, because I watched that Polamalu game. She was in the hospital, my mom and I.
Yeah.
She was a big Steeler fan, my grandma. She didn't know much about it.
But still loved it.
So we're like watching it real quiet. It's like a C diff floor, and people like, it stinks up there, and you can't people. I mean, people were dying, and I'm screaming like I couldn't contain it. My grandma. I know she wasn't really mad, but it was. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna jump. I don't even know what we were just talking about.
That's all right. This is yeah. So we do an opening segment. Look, we're already talking so well. We do an opening segment of the podcast. It's called "What's in the Cup."
Cup.
What do we got in the cup today?
I just crushed a and like 2 sips.
Deer Park water bottle.
So I'm gonna be real honest. When you ask me,
Yeah.
that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you want?
I can tell you're nervous about this.
I've been nervous about this, yeah, because I talk a lot and like
I see,
but
I talk a lot too.
That's what I was afraid of. You know what I mean? Like you need to talk, I need to talk.
We go
There's
off.
gonna be a lot of talking.
I know. I mean, but that's the beauty of it all. It's like people know what they're getting into.
So
here.
I don't know. Obviously, the people that listen to like you ask people like what's their favorite drink, and they bring a drink in. And like I felt real lame saying water, but like I was like, I don't know, like do I get bougie and say like I like Powerade Zero Red, like which I do.
You could have
yeah, but then what are you gonna do? You gonna drive around a $4 Generals to find a red Powerade?
That's the point.
I wouldn't do that to you. Is my point. So
yeah, but so the reason I do that is so I could try to because I'm a creature of habit whenever it comes to drinks. If I'm drinking a Diet Turner's tea, I'm drinking a Deer Park water or an Arizona Diet Green iced tea.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing I get from gas stations. So that is a way for me to start to kind of expand my roots a little bit.
So I went with the water. I'm a big like no sugar sport drink kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like get the electrolytes back in without actually working out. But I like Gatorades and Powerades. But I have like not an obsession on it. It's not an addiction, but like. I'll crush Red Bull.
Red Bull?
Yeah, I'm not. I hear you talking about your coffee and
it's crazy.
My wife loves coffee. I tried for a while. Just couldn't.
You're not a coffee guy.
I can't do it, man. I was doing 1 black cup a day every day, just routine to kind of wake me up.
Yeah.
And it was just messing with my stomach, and I didn't enjoy it. I just don't like the flavor in general. Like,
I get it.
That's
an acquired taste.
They kind of count my Red Bulls in the kitchen at work because they know there's like levels.
You
know
rip
what I mean?
more
like,
than one a day?
Oh my goodness, I'm not going to tell you how many.
Bro.
I wouldn't say every day. We're talking. These are the busy days.
Yeah, the busy days. Just a quick pick. I got one in the fridge right now. It's just whispering.
Yeah.
It's whispering.
I'm good. Look, I'm not drinking a 4-pack on a Tuesday.
Oh, that's
but
good.
Friday and Lent might be. You know what I'm
Friday
saying?
and Lent. You guys are you pretty busy with the Fishers right now?
It's been great. So it's not great that I feel bad a lot of churches can't do it this year, but a lot of people aren't doing it. So we got to, and we're pretty busy anyway.
Yeah.
And
every time I come there, it's fucking packed.
Appreciate that. I appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.
I see your mom because I don't get to come out too much. My wife's pretty, so I stay in the kitchen and she talks at the table.
That's smart,
and
man.
then you know how much I talk. So if I have a bunch of stuff on the stove and I come out and talk to a table, and I talk to 3 more tables,
your mind gets
and then I
away.
ruined everything that's in the kitchen. I gotta
Absolutely.
remake it. So it's not rude.
We genuinely love frequenting Yoli's. Like my parents were, I moved out already, so I was already out of the picture before, Yoli's came around. So it's like I was eating out my way. So I never had a reason to drive back. And my mom and dad, every time I fucking talk to them, they're like, "Oh, we're at Yoli's," and I'm like, you've literally been here some days 3 times in a week.
We love it.
And I was like, all right, let me go out there. And that first time we went out there, I was like, this is fucking
That's
crazy.
honestly how we, just how we started and grew. Like people just like the people that come once a week, twice a week. And because you started doing this before. When you start doing something, you have no idea how it's going to go.
Yeah, you have no clue.
I could dream it up and I could, nervous. I'm not a nervous person, but before it comes natural, after you start doing things, but leading up to it, all the anxiety, you know?
you get anxiety about it.
We, from the jump when we opened our pizza shop in Pleasant Hills, it was out the door. I couldn't.
When did all this happen?
So I worked in, my first job was in a pizza shop in McKeesport, and I was 17 or 18, I think.
And was that something that you wanted to do, or was that just a high school
in the
job?
summer. I did the Van Wilder thing at Slippery Rock, where I was there for 22 years and didn't get a degree.
I went there for a year.
Where'd you stay?
I went to. I was right in the dorms, but I was gone in a year. I fucking hated it up there because I didn't drink or nothing.
See, I loved it because I drank.
Well, that's the only reason people loved it up there, because you can go party at the Heights and shit.
I have no idea because I was up there with Bazone and Leach was up there and Wags actually was up there too. People would go out and party like I did. They'd get up and go to class. I had no idea how they were doing it. I was like, I don't know, what am I doing wrong here? But it was and then I was always going to go be a teacher, and
that's what I went for. Elementary ed and special ed.
So I was doing secondary English first, and then back and forth a couple times. I think I did really well one semester because I tried. I knew I could. I'm bright. My mom always told me my whole life, my sisters were the types the 4 O's and the gold cords.
Yeah.
I actually took my sister's gold cords to graduation when I put them around my neck, took a couple pictures.
That's the best.
I had honors, you know what I mean? But I never cared that much to, like, I was content with B's.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's the same thing I was.
My sisters would be like a nervous wreck as soon as a project was assigned, and I'd be like morning of just banging it out. Like,
that's
and
my
mom
brother
would be like,
is.
do you know if you did that a week earlier? Like, and I'd bring an A home, and she'd get real mad because I did it, the day it was
real
due.
quick. You rush it up.
And I still got an A on it. But when you go to college,
Can't do that.
You can't do that procrastination
I
shit
know.
anymore. And I did for a little while, and I did like the schmooze into the professors and stuff.
Let me get another week on that.
Yeah, or like, you did a great job. I wish, make stuff up. Like I'm not going to get into some of the stuff I made up, but it worked. But it wasn't. I couldn't do it like I was used to anymore. It just didn't prepare.
Yeah,
I'm not blaming anybody else. It's just who I am.
Yeah, it just wasn't like that's the same way I was. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed. I've always been someone who like gravitated towards like helping younger kids. Like I was in fucking Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
You do like mentoring type shit, and I always just liked it. I always liked teaching people things, so I wanted to go there. And the first semester, all A's and B's. I was like, this is easy. And then I'm just like, I'm fucking bored because like I don't drink at all. And I was just like,
there really is nothing else.
Nothing to do.
Because
Up
people were
there.
like, oh, it was a dry campus. Like when I went up, I'm older,
Bro,
and I was like, anywhere you go, you could party if you want to party. Like Ginger Hill they
Ginger
put
Hill.
that in my freshman year. My mom said it was an omen because it was like, I don't know. One of these days, it's probably never going to happen again because he doesn't. And you wish you would have like drank with Bazone at Ginger Hill with Slipper Rock. It was like, honestly, it's like I think they're going to make movies about it. I'm not even like, I can't get into any details. I don't know like what that's his life.
And
it was the greatest.
But you went up there and you were there for how long?
So I was there first year, failed out. I think I got a 4.0 combined with the first 2 semesters. And then I came home. I did CCAC for a little bit. I did well. I was home. Beth and I, my wife and I, started dating in high school.
Okay.
We met in Italy on a church trip. I was like,
really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's some Lizzie McGuire
Yeah,
shit.
it's sick.
Yeah,
it's,
that is.
like I always say, it's because nobody else spoke English.
She from McKeesport?
She's from Lincoln Place. Her family.
Okay.
It turned out her. That's why she went to Alderdice, but that's why not why we live in Lincoln Place, but we live by our parents.
Yeah.
But her aunt was my youth group leader, so we were going over for like a World Youth Day thing, and she came with her aunt.
That's
and
dope.
She's like super duper out of my league, like unreal. That's when it's easy. You know what I mean? Because it's like I got no shot.
Yeah.
I come back. I brought boys. She worked at the IVP at the mall.
Yeah.
And we got back from Italy, and I'm like, I'm gonna show you my girlfriend. And like, we're walking to the counter, and they're like, who? I was like, her. That ain't your fucking girlfriend. And we've been
blessed.
There was like a small, break when we were younger. I was a year older, so it's different. She's in college, or I was in college. She was in high school, but I went like back and forth to like home in Slippery Rock, and she went to Clarion, so like I'd go to we didn't date. It was like a weird, like real weird time in my life. Like a lot of other stuff happening at home, and like I just once I got to the point where I knew I didn't want to teach. I was working at a restaurant, and I was really good cook at it, but it wasn't like
You always like cooking?
Yeah, like creating stuff. I don't like I'm not a technical, like we were talking about, like baking and stuff. Like I've always my whole life and it comes through on
intuition.
My staff makes fun with all the stupid names. That's like the shit that I like. You know what I mean? Like even if like 6 guys laugh at Wu-Tang Eat Chicken, like I don't care. Like you get a 6-year-old dude that comes in and says like, I'll have the Kanye breast, and like he has no idea what he's saying. It makes my world. You know what I mean? But I was always on the creative side of like putting stuff together that probably shouldn't go together. And like figuring out different flavors. But I was never. I wouldn't say I was a good cook. I'd cook a little bit with my grandma, a little bit with my mom. They'd let me do some things in the kitchen, but it wasn't. When you're a kid, like working at, when I was at Pizza and Gyro, I was like 17, 18. You don't think that could be a living. You know what I mean?
It's like you're just serving time.
Like, give me my $40. I'm gonna go, like,
you know what I mean?
And I'm looking at the people that.
Monroeville.
It's so funny though. I'm looking at the people like my age now, and I'm like, you fucking loser.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm
right.
like, then like 2 years later, I'm like, I should probably like.
It's
get
like
in the restaurant
it's
business.
Like, it's like this ain't bad.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I mean?
if anybody's listening, I don't mean that to anybody. Directed fucking loser that I worked with. I'm just saying, in general,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But it's like you reevaluate the way. I was recently thinking about this. It's like I'm an adult now. I have a house, and like I'm starting to like. think of things differently. And like, I think of like, the way my parents did things growing up, and like, I kind of like evaluate how they did it, from a distance now because I'm an adult, and I'm just like, man, it's like, it puts it in perspective a little bit more, like how everyone is like just like trying to get through this fucking life, and it's just like, it's crazy. It's
what's
wild.
crazy to me. I don't know how you look at people, but like my grandma or my aunts or my mom, when I was a kid, they always looked old to me.
Yeah.
So like now I don't feel like I look old. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
They look great. My mom looks great. She's gonna be 70. But when I was a kid, like my grandma always looked like she was 80 to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When she was 50. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm 38. Do my kids think I look like I'm 90? You know what I mean? I'm 37.
I remember in high school being in 9th grade and thinking the seniors look like, grown men. And I'm just like, I don't look like that. Yeah. But it's like, now I'm like, that kid was fucking 17. It's like,
and what's funny too is like, even us, like I think, what'd you just turn 30?
Yeah.
7-year gap. Like after 30, everything's irrelevant, to be honest. But when you're a kid, like 7-year gap, that's a big deal. Like
that's a big deal because the fraction is lowered. Yeah. Like if you think you're 10 years old, 1 year is 1/10. Yeah. But if you're 30, that's 1/30th of a year. So the fraction is so small. Yeah. And that's why it's so like, the dude from Smash Mouth, he got it right. When the years start coming, they don't stop coming. I ain't kidding, dude.
I'm leaving.
It's crazy. I'm leaving. So, but I mean, like, when did it come into the picture of you, like, thinking, like, this could really happen?
So I worked in restaurants for a while, and I got out of the kitchen, and then I started managing, and I started, making some good money doing that. But then we had kids. We had a kid first, my daughter, and then.
How old is she?
She'll be 9 this month.
Okay.
So we're talking about about 10 years ago. Our 10th anniversary would be this summer. So it was like right after we were married. You start like everything starts changing. Like it shouldn't. Like we were together forever, but like you say marriage, you say kids. It's like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I got out and I started again like I was in jail. I got out and I started selling industrial equipment.
Yeah.
So but I knew I was good at like. In the kitchen and like talking to guests. My thing was always I make people feel better about themselves. So you have to, like when people come in, they come in miserable.
Welcoming. You want people to feel welcome.
Absolutely. So our biggest thing at the restaurant is everybody leaves happy. I don't care what I have to do. Like there's some places that like they won't comp anything. And I'm not saying that like I want to give away everything, but like that goes a long way. You know what I mean? So I always had that. So I thought like I didn't want to do the hours anymore. I didn't want to do like closing a bar at 2 a.m. I got a kid, you know what I mean? The one restaurant I was doing was out in North Hills, and it was like I'm getting home at like 4 a.m. because it was a bar, and you need benefits now, and you need all this stuff. You're an adult, so I got out. Had 2 friends, very, 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 very nice to me to let me come in an industry that I had no idea what I was doing. I was selling industrial equipment.
Yeah,
and when I say that I fucking hate it. It's not a knock on them at all because they're very good at what they do. I hated it because I was terrible at it. You know what I mean? Like I was good. Yeah. Like I don't know anything about any of it. Like my boy Kane, we were talking before. We call him the man of my house. Like I don't do. So it was like couldn't believe that this is what I was going to do with my life. Like I had the people part done, and I actually got some accounts just based off of that. But then when
once they're asking
when it got down to it, and they're like, who do you keep calling? Like I really got serious about it. And all through that whole time, I was delivering pizza at another place. And I'm just like, it started with just like making a menu.
Yeah.
And like thinking of stuff that wasn't on like normal pizza shop menus. You know what I mean?
Like what?
We do
like
our
the
3B
greens
sprouts.
And beans?
Well, greens and beans didn't come to the restaurant, but we do Brussels sprouts with bacon and balsamic glaze. And like for delivery, like at least in our area, nobody else is doing that on a pizza delivery level.
Where was the first one at?
Kind of like on the other side of town from where the restaurant is. It's on the border of South Park, and you know where the Nativity Church is? Like if you're going up to South Park, it's on Cochran's Mill Road.
I know exactly where you're talking. It's right by that. It was right by that garage in the back. I think. I think I remember being there one time.
I meant to tell you, your boy had his that Streets on Carson had a food truck down there, like getting airbrushed. You know where that is?
Yeah.
Or shops, like the shop on the left there.
Okay.
I recognize his truck. I guess a guy down there does he do the painting on it?
Probably, yeah. I didn't know where he got it done, but I remember where that.
So we started there, and it's in the middle of a storage unit, you know? So like, and I don't know a ton about the area, but it took a while. Like, we looked at a bunch of different places, in White Oak. I looked at stuff in Green Tree, and it was like, I'm super lucky my wife was so supportive. Like, you're going to drop everything, and like, we don't know if this is going to work. She worked her ass off. She had a corporate job, super great at it, and would still like help open the business.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it without her. But it started really with just like, so we had the Brussels sprouts, and then like, most pizza delivery places do steakums. You know? We're using real Delmonico steaks. You know what I mean? Slicing those down. I'm making Italian beef sandwiches where we're like slow. We call it Balboa beef.
Yep, the Balboa.
And we're like 9.5 hours on a slow roast overnight.
Yeah.
With minced giardiniera on top. Like, it's stuff we were making our own aioli. Like, there's stuff. Our Sunday sauce was not like, so it was based loosely off of my grandma's recipe, but it like evolved to where, it's like a rustic, you've had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just doing things that it wasn't fancy. It was just different. You know what I mean? Like,
different
stuff you wouldn't expect from.
Yeah, because if you got 60 places that are just serving up steak-em hoagies, regular pizza.
And it's not a knock. Obviously it works, and that's why people
still
do
eat it. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's why it works. But if you look at every menu, it's the same. Like, these 3 specialty pizzas, these 3 appetizers, or like 40 appetizers.
Salad,
like,
all kinds of whatever you could keep in a freezer. But it's like whenever people want something a little bit different, and if you could get we're the same way. It's like we like just a little bit different. Like, but we'll still go to the OG shit,
no doubt,
because it's still delicious. But sometimes you want a little bit elevated. You want it to be elevated,
and that's what
bit.
We weren't coming across as like bougie. We were just coming across as like
a little bit different
stuff. Yeah, and then you put the names in it. We had this old dude come in like first week we opened. It's the best, and nothing's named normal, you know what I mean? So like the Gregory is my mom's maiden name, but Di Gregorio was what it was before it was Americanized. So our Italian sandwich was named Di Gregorio. Everything has names. This old dude's looking for like 5 minutes. He looks at my wife and he's like, "You got a fucking Italian hoagie? Yeah. Anything? I just want an Italian hoagie. Where the fuck?" It was the best. So after that, I was like, I'm never calling it like a normal thing again.
Because I mean, like, why even do it? It's you're adding a little bit to it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
What year was this that this opened?
We just celebrated 5 years since we opened, so it was January 2016. We got the building in like 2015, and like it takes a while.
What was it before?
It was a pizza shop.
Okay.
It was a pizza shop, and the guy, I think it was a bakery a long time ago. But we're literally in the middle, like where we're in the middle of a storage unit.
There's a storage unit.
So there's
there.
like and I didn't have a sign. I didn't have the money to put up or advertise. So I'm thinking, when I staffed the first week, we're going to ease into it. And like, we got smacked.
Really?
Dude, the first Friday we were open, Beth and I both looked at each other and kind of thought like, is this really what you want to do for the rest of your life?
It really just like caught on.
So we were very lucky. We go to church in that area.
Yeah.
And my wife's been going there for like 30 years.
Yeah.
They were, besides our like close friends and family, we had so much great buzz from, I'm going to give it a plug too because they're awesome, Pleasant Hills Presbyterian in Pleasant Hills. Dude, he actually used to do over where you lived in Ingram. He did like crafting. Super good dude, Pastor Mark. But we started off with that, Beth's like very involved with that. So they wanted to support us.
Yeah.
So then they start telling people in the area. And then one of the other great things was there wasn't a ton of competition. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot around there. There's a couple of your basics, but there's a good pie up the road. I'm not plugging it.
Yeah. Don't plug it. Okay, you don't have to plug it. But so whenever you got this place and like you kind of like, put kind of went all in on this. It's like you built this menu and then you came up with this menu. Did you have you had limited number of shit on there, or was it like a beefed up menu? Because at Yoli's, you have a book that you can read through.
The original menu I had, I think, was actually bigger.
Really?
I had to just cut stuff.
Now, as a chef, it's like how do you decide what you want? It's like you have to put aside what your personal favorite shit is, and figure out what people want. So it's like, how do you do that?
Yes and no. You don't have to shun what you like, because you put out what you like, and then if people like it, you stick with that.
Yeah.
But I think I speak for most people when they say you start off with what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably going to reference it a lot, but when I was listening to your interview with Anthony, early on, it is like everybody's chirping and everybody's telling you, and you're like, every day I'm like, should I do this? should I do this? One of the every day, it's tweaked. So some of our stuff's probably a little bit different than when we first opened, just because. But like it's one of those things I tell everybody: all feedback's great. Feedback, please give me feedback.
Yeah.
And they say something I don't want to hear. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
That's
exactly. And you don't say it to them. You're like, thank you so much. But in your head, you're like,
yeah.
Really?
It's like, you don't even know what this means. Like, you don't even know what I'm doing out here.
You want pickles?
Yeah. So it's like you're in there, and it's like, you're just hustling pies from there. Our
whole menu was, and I was lucky with the staff too. We referenced my cousin Dominic before. He helped me open. He actually got me to kind of where our dough recipe is. His brother Gino was the middle one. You know Dino and Dom. Gino's the middle one. He owned a pizza shop for a little while north for sales called Gino D's.
Oh, okay.
And he had. We were talking about everybody's menu the same. It wasn't. He had a lot of the basic stuff, but it was different stuff.
Yeah.
It was like he had this G-Mac pizza. It was like a Big Mac with like Thousand Island and like that kind of stuff. Like people, it did well over there. But so Dom helped me open because I had like all my other recipes and like the stuff I wanted to do and like the fresh ingredients, but like the science of it, I was like, because the pizza shop I worked in as a kid, like I didn't get to
learn.
Nobody shows you that when you're 17. You know what I mean? So honestly, if it wasn't for my cousin, like showing me the road, you could learn anything. You know what I mean? I probably could have YouTubed it.
Absolutely.
Or pizza probably is what it is because of my cousin. So.
But you were doing pizza from the beginning?
Yeah. So we did pizzas, oven baked sandwiches. We did Yoli rollies. I brought you some of those, by the way. I saw a pie. I don't know where you were at the other day. It was Pep Olive.
Oh yeah.
So I did Pep Olive Yoli rollies.
Oh, I love that.
I know you like the mushrooms, but they secrete too much water in the rollies. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So,
is that why you can't get the mushrooms up in there?
So you can. I just like people. You can get any pie you want. Like you could do like spinach and tomato. It's just going to be a mess, though. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's just not going to hold up.
Are you? Is there anything you don't like on pizza?
Besides the anchovy,
you don't like an anchovy?
So. We used to play a game when we were younger in the kitchen called Hide the Anchovy on the pizza, you know what I mean? With the cooks. And like, so like I'd eat it like that. And when you bury it, in Caesar dressing.
Yeah, when you bury it, it's all right.
It's just salt. But like, I don't want it on my pizza.
Yeah, me either. My wife loves it.
So look, you got to tell her this. It's the most selfish move in America if you get a pizza with half anchovies. Because the whole pizza is ruined. You can't do half. Either get it on the side or get your own. It's the most selfish move I've ever seen.
But sometimes I just do it. I just do it for her. But it does.
Yeah.
It fucks it up because it's just seeping in that box.
Well, you know what? You need to let her know when you need something that like all these times I've eaten anchovy because it's not like I ate a pepper, what I mean? It's like
I know it's an anchovy,
yeah.
But the only thing I'm not very picky. I just don't eat. I don't like green peppers.
Yeah,
I want nothing to do with a green pepper.
I'll eat them. They're not. I dislike them.
I'm not going to be a bitch about it and be like, I ain't going to have this meal.
My go-to is our pepperoni. We use Ezzo pepperoni, and it like kind of cups up, but it doesn't go all the way with the grease. And
I love the cup.
Yep, and so it gets the grease in there, but we use fresh banana peppers. So like
that's the best.
So what's great about it is that like you get that crunch and it's like fresh. You got to be careful though. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like you get real cocky with a slice. Like,
sometimes you're like, oh, this will be just like all the rest of them. And you're like, that's a hot pepper. That's a little bit hotter than the others.
Yeah, I actually it made me think when Anthony was telling that story. He was putting pepper flakes in his sauce, and the little kids ate it at the party.
How funny was that?
I actually had that happen with the banana peppers on because people think of pepperoncinis. You know what I mean? And,
have you had bananas pizza?
I actually have not, man. And the first time I've heard of it was. They did that Twitter thing last year with best pizzas. Yeah. And they had a real high seed. And I was like, man, they were a 2 seed. Yeah. We snuck in, I think we were like a 9. We made it all the way to they didn't call it the Elite 8, but whatever it was, like the final 8.
Yeah.
We have like some really loyal fans.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
I call them fans like we're a sports team, but
that's what it is. I feel like I'm a fan.
So from that, I saw a bunch of different places. I was like, I want to try these different, and I have, and like I'll plug spots. Ironborn has a really good pizza. I don't know if you had it. It's very, it's a niche.
Ryan Peters has been on here. He's a good fan. He's one of the people that worked on Ironborn. He does all the pasta down there.
Oh, okay.
And
it's a great pizza.
Yeah, the pizza, but it's different.
Yeah.
Whenever you rate pizzas, it's like I feel like that there's 3 classes of pizza. There's There's as Dave Portnoy calls it. There's a what's it called? A football pizza. You know, it's just like your typical.
Bar pizza.
Yeah, it's bar pizza. It's like Minios or some shit.
You know what you just said though, like of that pizza. A lot of people love Minios, right? So the best part about pizza is it's very subjective. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's it. I don't like this. A lot of people love Minios.
But some people don't like Betos.
Correct.
I
hate the cold cheese. I think
you don't like it.
I think it tastes like a Lunchable, man. It's just not my thing.
But that's an elevated Lunchable. But there's three classes. There's a football pizza. There is an elevated pizza, and then there's a bougie pizza. Yeah. So like Ironborn, I consider it a bougie pizza. It's like not every day I want a pizza like that. That's a lot of bread. I like. I kind of want elevated pizza. I want, and that's what I consider Yoli's pizza. That's what I consider a Banamos pizza because it's like, it's stable. It's crafted. It's not just like, I don't know. People could get butthurt about everything.
Because there are people. The three. What do they say? Like in the city, there's like three. It's Minios, Fiore's. What's the other one that's always? I can't think of it off the top of my. Maybe is it Beto's? Because it shouldn't be one. If there were like 4 1 seeds, one of them shouldn't have been. I forget who the 3 were.
Pizza Davide.
I don't think they were that high yet, but they do a very good pie.
Yeah, their pizza's good.
My point is, like, those are they're not basic, but that's like what people want pizza. You know? Like it's
Benny Fierra's, I think, might have been up there at one point. It's like those are the huge ones.
Yeah,
it's like a New York slice kind of, but I don't consider your pizza a New York slice.
No, well, I don't consider it.
Pull up on that mic a little bit, please.
Yeah, no doubt. Sorry. I know if we went on one bite.
Yeah,
he'd hate us. It's not the type of pizza he likes. You know what I mean? Like it's a hand tossed.
Yeah.
It's not too thick. It's not too thin. But a pizza, it's not as like crispy as like a bar pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all fresh ingredients and it's all high end ingredients.
See, I love I was never someone who appreciated dough and crust.
Yeah.
I used to just throw crust away.
Yeah.
But ever since I started baking a little bit myself, I've been appreciating different crusts.
Yeah.
And
I've seen some good bread, by the way.
I appreciate
page.
that.
It looks good.
I swear to God, I'm up in here.
I might start buying some.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. People out there running bakeries. You got 8 hours into a loaf of sourdough. Yeah. You're like, bro, that's crazy.
Well, we actually wanted to do fresh baked loaves for the table, like when you get pasta at the restaurant. When I actually looked into it and like what it was going to cost and what it was going to like.
Crazy.
I'm like, look, man, I get a good loaf.
Yeah,
we'll put it on the table. It's going to be awesome. We'll heat it up in the oven.
Yeah.
So the people that do it, like, man, more power to. I don't know
insane.
how, but you can decide too. Like you don't have to do that volume, but we're doing volume. You know what I mean? So like, if I could cut it back, and my staff goes all the time, "What would you do if I quit?" I was like, "I'd cut the menu down." And like it's not. We always say, "Train keeps rolling, motherfucker."
Yeah, train keeps rolling. I mean, like you guys definitely. So obviously, pre-quarantine and pre-COVID and shit like that. I mean, if you went into Yoli's any night, like we used to go in on Fridays, I mean, like it's banging in there.
Yeah.
You guys got, and I swear to God, it's like, I ain't even just telling you, I wouldn't even ask you to come on if I didn't like your food.
No, honestly.
I loved it. Every bit of it, dude.
I was like thinking, like, not honored. I am honored. Like, it's an honor to be
I appreciate that.
Cutting up with you, man, because and you were laughing at me. I was nervous, man.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be, but I get it. I get how people get nervous about this. I mean, but it's like it's like literally relaxed. It's the most relaxed conversation. I don't have like.
That's why it jumps around so much. Like,
exactly.
When you edit, you might have like 2 minutes.
That's
like
fine
actual
though.
Footage.
But that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'll go through. I'll think of things that that could be a throwaway. That could be not. But it's like,
you can call me on Wednesday.
I like
you sat too far away from the microphone. I got nothing.
I just like tangential because it's like, that's whenever people really get to learn about people. You know what I mean? You get to learn about how someone is. Now people know that you move a million miles a minute. I mean, you got shit going on in your head all the time.
Yeah.
But it's like, so you start making this pizza, you start perfecting this. In the beginning, you got slammed, you said, but it's like, when did you have that idea that like, this could be something that like we could pay bills off of? You know what I mean?
Honestly, so I'm good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like the business end of it is so hard. And that's, I think, what like a lot of people you have to have somebody, whether it's a wife or whether it's like a friend that you bring in as a partner or whether it's an accountant.
Yeah.
We were lucky to be busy from day one, but from a business standpoint, like we just it was so busy that we're not like, I don't know, are we losing money on this? I don't know, but like
you
we're
don't have
paying,
as
and it's
close
hard
of
to
an eye
and it's
on
hard to
that.
know early on. It's like, because that money's coming in and money's going in. It's like, well, should we have more left? Should we? I've made decisions, just whether it was with loans or with staffing or with paying friends that want to get paid more because they're your boy, but like you're not taking a paycheck home, that kind of stuff. Like you don't think about that going into it, and it's. So the first 2 years were probably spent building the brand, but not necessarily like building our like financial empire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the long term, it got us to meet some. I have partners at the restaurant, and they are strictly, not strictly, but they do. They invested, so they did the money side, and they do, like, I know my taxes are paid. I know I can focus on what I can focus on.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's beautiful. So we're catering. We got 2 pizza shops. We're opening another one in Brookline.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Jesus.
if it wasn't for COVID, it'd probably be open already. We're just kind of trying to figure out. But so we got the restaurant, 2 pizza shops, trying to open more of those. You don't know when you're doing this. Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Like, is this the guy I want to partner with? Like, is this the company I want to get my cheese from? Are they paying me too much? And I'm not like, hats off to the people that can do it and like look at their bill every day and say like, man, they jacked me up 25 cents on, like, that ain't me. You know what I mean? To look, and my wife is better at that, but without the, we didn't have that early on to know. Nobody teaches you that shit.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
stuff you have to learn.
Yep.
You get punched in the mouth, you know what not to do.
Yep, and the only way, like, and to me, like, people will be like, oh, you didn't make any money, it was a failure. It wasn't a failure. Like, we built a brand. We've been around for 5 years now. We never stopped. Like, we went from the pizza shop to catering to the restaurant. You
did catering before Yoli's?
Yoli's catering, but we catered out. So it was like a 6-month transition to the restaurant, like from the pizza shop. So we stopped down there, and then we reopened that pizza shop because that was like the original. I had a real good friend. I promise I wouldn't get into anything, but was a partner, and then like wanted out or got out, and then it was easier to kind of hit the reset button and start.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And we actually have been talking, no hard feelings anywhere around. It's, he did his thing, I did my
different
thing.
paths.
Keep on rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just throwing pizzas in the oven. You want it to be, you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be just.
People don't think about all the other shit around there.
You don't know, honestly. Until,
but I'm talking about the people that are like, your customers. It's like my goal for like the podcast is to give a little bit of insight on like, how the sausage is made, so to speak. People don't think about like, sourcing products, sourcing cheese, sourcing ingredients, shit like that, staff problems, things like these. This is why I want people. This is why I like being tangential. It's because like people start to learn, the things that people have to go through to try to get to it.
So, especially during COVID, what it was hard for people to realize, because some places, it took us a while to do. We didn't do it real heavy, but we had to raise prices a little bit, like you had to, because our whole thing was look at your grocery bill.
Yeah,
like, I'm still buying. I don't get free stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get discounts. I don't get like a little bit. If you
I saw an article the other day about chicken wings.
My god!
Like what? Like it's crazy.
And it's like I want to take them off because I'm probably losing money on them, but then I lose people. So I'm
your
hoping
wings are crazy.
My biggest hope is that the guy that comes in and gets chicken wings, the rest of his table gets like $80-$100 worth of other stuff.
Yeah.
The one that kills me is somebody comes in, gets a dozen wings, and leaves because I'm losing money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a sad truth right now. That's how much. Cheese finally went back down a little bit, and it's never like if I'm talking, and I don't get into it with like random guests. It's like people I'm cool with, and like we'll talk. But it's not I'm not sobbing about it. It's not like a sad sad song. It's
necessary evil.
Correct. And I would never complain about what happened last year because we're very lucky. We're still open and we're rolling. We opened a new place during the pandemic.
Bro,
there are a lot of people.
So many people closed.
And it could have happened to anybody. It could have happened to us. And that's what I try and tell my staff all the time when they're like, you're in like the muck of it and it's like they're sick of it and they're like, oh, I didn't get any tables. Like, we're open, man. Like it's a year. We did it. Like, not like, hey, let's go to bed, but like we did
thousands of businesses, closed down. And it's like, it really says something to, kind of now, like how we were talking about how I did that small business episode. That was just something real small to like try to, draw a little bit of like eyes to like other people that are out there that are out in these fucking battlefields, just, making shit happen as the world's kind of like, in a fucking twister around them, so to speak. And it's like, it's interesting to see how people maneuver. Like my boy at Streets, I look up to people and I use them as motivation. I use certain people as like, the fuel for me to like keep it going, because like that motherfucker is straight up like Bob's Burgers. Like he lived upstairs from his spot, and he's the only one in his kitchen working right now because you can't have 1,000 people working on fucking Uber meals. And he does more of like a, like a plated, like not everything is like a to-go friendly meal. And it's just like, talking to these people, I want the people that are listening to, or I want the customers that are like, frustrated to listen to this and be able to understand like these are all problems that people are like trying to navigate around that like no one's ever experienced. And it's like, if your fucking stuff is a little bit cold, or if it's like, if your bread is touching some sauce, it's like, bro, like people are out here trying to function.
And honestly, the majority of the people, especially where we're at, have been unbelievable. They've been super nice. They've been supportive. They're like, when it first started, getting takeout 3 times a week to make sure our lights were still on. Super. But then you get that, and I don't use the Karen, because like I know some nice Karens, so I try not to like, I know like real life Karens that aren't like, but you get these people that like, if that's the worst thing that happened to you today, that like,
come on.
all these Yelp reviews and shit, like people don't realize it ruins businesses and it ruins lives. And every single one of them, I told you my motto with my staff: everybody leaves happy. I'll do whatever it takes. Like, even if it's not our fault. But there's times where like it's our fault. I get this review the other day. The dude started with, and if he's listening, bro, I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out because it was a terrible review. Apparently, like, he didn't like the Balboa beef. He said it was dry. Could have very easily been whoever was in the kitchen didn't have the au jus, came out dry. Guess how easy that is to say, can I have some? Now, on our end, maybe the server didn't pick up on it and take, like, I give them free reign. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't like it, make sure they're happy, take it off our bill. So, long story short, he didn't like the Balboa. He's mad about it. Then he goes, should have stuck with the Gotti. Love the Gotti. Love the fries. Fries are always good. Service is always unbelievable. Erica's unbelievable. And I go, I'm thinking to myself, where are all your 5-star reviews? You know what I mean? Like, you love it every other time you come. You didn't like this one time.
Absolutely.
So I get the ones, that's the only one that counts to my rating.
I know, and it's fucked up. It's like,
I don't think people and if they do understand, they are just fucked up.
Well, it's crazy because, like, I've had a lot of fucked up jobs. I worked for the City McKeesport, was a janitor at some points, did all kinds of shit. Never worked as a waiter. I delivered pizzas and shit like that. That was my extent of a food service industry. I worked at a Subway for a couple of days and then I fucking quit. But that was
the quickest job you ever had at Subway?
I worked with Bill.
Did you?
Yeah, I worked over in that gas station. Well, I was actually, a little tangential, but a funny story. I got a job working at that gas station as a cashier. Okay, I'm working the fucking graveyard shift, and I come in one day. It's the only day I work at daytime, and someone calls off. So they're like, "Oh, you got to go over and work Subway today." These motherfuckers gave me a size large T-shirt and a Velcro hat, and I looked like a gorilla back there with stuff that didn't fit
how old
me.
Are you?
Bro, this was 2011. I was 21, 22. So I was in the prime of really like evaluating myself, thinking like, what the fuck am I doing here? I had to make a Subway hoagie for a kid that I fought in high school. And it's like,
with a smile on your face.
Yeah, with a smile on your face. And you're like, you motherfucker, I hope you choke on it. But it's like, I never had an experience of any food service, and then I helped my boy down at Streets for 2 nights. I just ran food. And
did you?
Yeah, his kitchen.
Beth and I, on your recommendation, we went to eat. It was awesome. We
Bro.
had Probably a little bit like right before the pandemic.
I think I remember whenever he called me and told me that you came in. He didn't come down, but he found out after that was you.
Yeah, because he was, dude, and I know, like, my staff, their number one rule when they get hired, if anybody asks if Ben's there, the answer is no.
Yeah.
You come check.
Yeah.
Like, get their name, come check.
Yeah.
And then, like,
and then
dude, I go
like,
out so many times where, like, yeah, I'm friends with Benny. I
know, every 3
I have
minutes.
no idea who you are.
I know, every 3 minutes, and you got 15 different people. That adds up, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like...
So it's not being rude. Like, I just don't...
But it's being realistic.
It is.
But I'm running this food for him, and, you know, like... And they... How many... What's your capacity there?
Right now, because of COVID?
No. Beforehand.
Together, like 150, 160.
So I think his is like a 50 seat capacity.
No, you know what? It's 130. And I only know that because we were allowed to do, 65.
Yeah.
So
his was 50. So it at the peak time, there's 50 people in there ordering,
and they count staff. You know what I mean? Like your staff's supposed to.
That's what I mean. And it's crazy because like I'm up there and I'm running these tickets down. I'm just like watching these tickets pile in, and there's just like 3 people in there, and it's an organized symphony.
It is.
And like you're timing these sauces, you're timing these dips. Like, is this right? Is this right? Put the bread in there. Don't let it get too soft. And then I'm running these things down there, and it's like that right there made me have such a different level of appreciation.
What was your adrenaline level like? You know what I mean? Like it's like
the whole time. Listen,
you could fight the world.
This is the whole thing. So for 2 days, fucking killed it.
Yeah,
running up. There's like 25 steps up to his kitchen. Running. All right.
Oh, is that where the kitchen is? Up the steps.
Upstairs. So you go in, and then his kitchen is right upstairs.
Places that have it, like,
bro, he is. They're running it. They're running.
He gets orders in and shit. Like everything's going upstairs. Like,
yeah.
How?
Because he got a ticket window or a ticket feeder upstairs, and then there's a ticket feeder.
Say when he gets orders, like
he's carrying everything up there.
Oh, Jesus,
bro, he's an animal. I that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I look up to him probably more than anyone else in this city. And it's like,
you know what? And you talking about that?
Yeah,
people don't know that. You know what I mean? They don't see when his vendor truck's there. Like
I did a whole episode about that. About kind of just having 2 nights in there and how fucking insane it was to see 30 tickets at a time, and people like it's like everyone's spinning it. Like I envision it as people spinning like 10 plates, and you just got to keep them going. Yeah. If you don't do it, one of them is going to fall.
And then when you get that one check that you fucked up, everything
that's
else,
what I'm saying.
You can't get out of it.
But so 2 days I'm there, I ran like all kinds of orders. My last 2 plates, I'm carrying some mozzarella sticks with some gravy, or they're like polenta sticks. I'm sorry, a nice little log cabin of polenta sticks with a little cream sauce, and then on the other side I had. I think a cheesesteak with fries. So I start running down the steps, and then the saucer of cheese sauce slides all the way to the left.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. And I went to overcorrect it.
Yeah.
Overcorrected it, all 4 plates down the steps. And I was like, it felt like I was gonna throw up of like, you ever get that like real hot feeling on you? And I was just like, and then I see him just turn the corner, and he was like, bro, you drop a couple plates, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm so sorry.
Silver lining, 2 plates and not like a like
that's what I'm saying though. But still, it's like those people are now gonna have to wait another 20 minutes. So it's like that could be a potential of a bad review.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you have no fucking idea what is going on.
I know.
So who are you to go home? And then you got them cocksuckers who are sorry, that's a little bit heavy of a line.
No, you get it. I was actually holding back. I felt like it was getting it. Like,
but you have these people that like have like, oh, I got 800 Yelp reviews that are just looking
that's all
for
they do.
A juicy review.
Yeah.
And you're just like, bro, these are people's livelihoods.
It is.
And there's gonna be some people, whether or not it's 10% or 20 or 30%, people are going to look at that review, see a negative one, and be like, we'll try somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you're like, bro, like, makes me sick.
It's terrible. And you can't like...
you should not be allowed to have a Yelp account unless you worked in the food industry.
That's actually a great idea.
You already know
or
it
you could
is.
just get rid of Yelp altogether and just come try the place.
Do you ever use it, though, as a chef?
So... on places that I love, like other people in the business that I'll like.
But like, if you're looking at a new restaurant, do you look up a place? Be honest.
So I'd never go on Yelp. I fucking hate Yelp.
Yeah.
When you Google a place, like if the reviews are there, like I'll hit and like just see the couple. Now, if it's, I'm gonna be honest, if it's like like 3-5 lower, I'm probably not gonna go.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
and that's where I was gonna say I allow it as the average. I will never go into reviews.
Exactly.
If it's 2 stars, I'm going to just put that to the
Don't get
side.
me wrong. I've gone down that rabbit hole. Of
yeah. I mean,
looking
you
at
do,
reviews,
but
and
it's
you just
like-
get fired up, and I want to like respond for them.
But it's like sometimes you're just like, bro, like this person obviously had a bad day,
Yep.
and they're just like splitting fucking hairs. But I ain't gonna let someone's pissy attitude ruin my thought
business.
about that, because like if
I
I
got you.
you know what I mean, like if I look at your reviews, how many you got a bad review and I read it,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be like, come on now.
Well, what's scary is the person that hasn't come yet, like they don't have anything else to go by. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What they're reading.
That's what
now,
I'm
the
saying.
person that's been there a bunch of times, they're going to read it and laugh because they know what's really happening.
Yeah.
You know? And what gets me all the time is it's something that could have been rectified in my restaurant before you left.
100%.
You say nothing. You say everything's fine.
100%.
And don't get me wrong. There's a ton of times. There's a lot of moving parts. I got a big staff. We got a big kitchen.
Yeah.
We got a big menu. We're not going to get everything right every
I know.
time.
You told me that lady was so sick whenever you forgot the beans and beans.
Dude, I had to comp like a whole meal. It was like the family meal. It was a $50 meal for the 16-ounce beans and greens.
Dude.
That's what I said.
They're good.
We were just talking about like doing cookies for like just little Chips Ahoy's for the kids' meals.
Yeah.
And I was like, I already see it now. Server forgets the 22-cent cookie. I got to comp the $7 kids' meal because
I
they didn't
know.
get their cookie.
I know. And it's just like, those are just things that that as a business owner, as, someone who is out there every day doing this shit, because it's you're there every day.
So we are in a great spot where my wife and one of us is there every day.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, both, but like at either time, my wife and I are there.
Yeah.
Like our staff is amazing. And I actually thought it was going to be way tougher because Brandon and Billy went to open the pizza shop. And
Yeah.
they were,
They're running that now?
Yeah. They're down there all the time. They work a ton.
I've been friends with them for so long.
Yeah.
Just great people.
So, yeah, Billy's a ball buster, man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's like,
Always has been.
relentless. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Did you ever ask him about the one time someone shaved off his eyebrow and then he shaved off the other one because he had to even it out? Swear to God.
I have a similar
think
story.
I was
I
at
told the
seventh-
similar story and he never mentioned a word.
I think it was in 7th or 8th grade. Someone shaved one of his eyebrows off. He came in and I was just like, what the fuck? And he shaved the other one off. And
He's so sick. Like
Sick.
he doesn't
Sick.
have. I told him he's like what I call him, the fat Anthony Jeselnik. What's that comedian's name? Because he has that like deadpan humor. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
dude,
just
my
very
mom,
dry.
Billy's known me 15 years, so knows that like. And I'm not getting. This isn't like Dr. Phil and this shit. My dad left when we were in high school, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen my dad like 20 years. Billy knows this. Like it's
Yeah.
not. We've known each other a long time. My mom comes in the kitchen. Hey Billy, how you doing? Billy just had a kid, and she's like, "How's the baby?" He's like, "I could see why fathers walk out on families."
I know,
my mom.
he's always just been dry.
And then
like
he
that.
goes like, he'll say 998 things.
Yeah.
And the 999th one, I get mad. And he's like, you're so sensitive. Like I didn't just sit there and take it for a year.
I mean, like, that's good, though. I feel like that it's good to, like, you seem like a fun guy to work for.
Look,
you seem like that you want
Nobody
to be
wants
able-
to work, right?
Yeah, no one wants to work.
And I'm
so
not always in the best of moods. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But you want to have fun while you're there.
You got to.
For the most part, I think I let them be themselves and have fun.
Yeah.
To an extent. I mean, you still have to.
Yeah, you got to keep the reins in check, but it's like, why you want to be an asshole why do you want it to be stuffy like that? You want to be at least stuffy because any boss should know that any employee does not want to be there 99% of the time.
Yeah.
That ain't the job
Yeah,
that
they
they
got
want to
bills,
do.
you know?
Yeah, they're trying to get paid, but like, why don't we all just want it to make a good environment?
Yep.
I've been blessed that the place that I work, I love it. Like I love the people there. It's nice to be able to go in there and just enjoy it, but it's like, am I passionate about it? No, but it's like, I'm there and I enjoy the people that I work with, and it's it could be worse. That's how I see it. It
yeah.
could be way worse.
Yeah.
But
could not be working, man.
yeah, exactly. Now I'm curious about this. We mentioned this before. Fish sandwiches on a Friday. So you guys do a fish sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, my Lenten menu is pretty sick.
So Ralph just told me this. That,
Ralph ate it, I think, last week. I got this sandwich called the one that got away.
Yeah,
It's on a
that's a good name for a fish sandwich.
yeah, because it's huge, dude. It's
Yeah.
like it's one of those like almost you do as like a competition. It's
Yeah.
like and it's reasonably priced. It's like $22, but it's a full loaf of Italian bread.
Yeah.
I do the crab rangoon like would be inside of a wonton.
Yeah.
I do the spread on the bottom. Then there's 2 8-ounce Yingling battered fish fillets on that.
That's
and there's
crazy.
2 8-ounce and formed crab cakes, jumbo lump, roasted red pepper aioli on top of that, lettuce or spring mix, Roma, red onion, and provolone. It's
man,
sick.
that
It's
sounds
probably
crazy.
like 15 pounds, but people, it's good. That's like, and we have a ton of other stuff too. Like I do with that spread. We got a pizza called the Goonie.
Yeah.
I do like the crab rangoon pizza. I'm doing like. My staff, Billy especially, makes fun of it, like hates the names. He's like, I'm not fucking saying it.
That's what I was just going to ask you. So, like, as someone who, like, I feel like that there are chefs that have, like, you know, two different outlooks. You have someone that's like, I ain't going to just fucking use some novelty name. And then there's someone that wants to have some fun with it.
I'm like, dude, they're lobster nachos. I get it. But, like, lobchos sounds so much fucking better. He's like, this kid, Dom, he's like, I'm not saying lobchos. He refused. And then we were so busy last week. He's like, can I get those lobchos? I was like, say it again.
That's funny.
Bill's breaking point at the pizza shop, I did like a limited menu and I had a Supreme pizza and it was called the Supreme Abdul Jabbar. And he was like, I'm leaving.
The Supreme.
I have his pizza. I think I've sold 3 of them in the last 3 Lents, but it's never going to come off my menu. It's called the John Bon Jovi, and it's an anchovy pizza with our Sunday sauce. Your wife might love it, actually.
Yeah,
but
she
it's like
probably
the menu description is to the lyrics to "Living on a Prayer," and I'll never take it. I don't care.
I like that. I like to have some fun like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's fun. Now, so for Lent, how crazy is Lent for a restaurant like that?
Sick. So typically every year we're slow the first week and because of everybody wants to hit their church up, you know, and it's like wants to support them.
Yeah, God bless.
This year's different, man. There's a lot of places not doing it.
There's this church right by us that had, I've never seen it before. It wasn't on Lent, but it was a Thursday. They got drive-through gnocchis.
No way.
Or not drive-through gnocchis, drive-through gyros. My bad.
Yeah.
Not gnocchis.
Did you get one?
No, not yet. I didn't even know it was there, and then I saw fucking, you know, boys are waiting on the main road to turn in there. I'm like, what is this? And then I see this big sign and it says drive-through only.
Honestly, when churches do that stuff, though, like, you know, at International Village, like the church right next, like across from Lampert's.
Amen.
Dude, when they do pierogies, they're unbelievable.
Honestly, the sickest thing that happened out of COVID is like, obviously people dying. It's terrible.
I get the hyperbole.
But it's like no International Village. It feels like something's wrong.
I know. It didn't feel right.
It didn't feel right. There ain't nothing better than capping off the summer with that.
And like, you know, paying $25 for like
chicken on a stick. Yeah. You know what I mean? $30 this year, probably.
You just do it because that's what you do.
It's what you do. That's what you do is part of it. So, I mean, you got this restaurant now, and, you know, thank God that like everyone is like, you know, it seems to be thriving. Like you guys are always just, you know, I like that. I don't know, dude. I just like seeing people, you know, make their way through all these like obstacles that everyone has. It's like, what is a goal? Like, what's your goal? Like, you obviously open in this new spot in Brookline, you said?
Yep. So,
what's the other goals?
So I would love to get to a point. I don't know when it is, but so my wife, I said she quit her corporate job and she works full time with me now. She's a beast. Never worked in an industry before, and she's like, you know, making dough in the mornings, and, crushing it, lunch rush, talking.
Do you toss your pizzas?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No, like not professionally.
No.
I'll show you a picture of Beth when I'm done. She was just tossing it.
What do you do for your pizzas? Do you like roll it out, or you like spin it up?
I do more of the slap and the small. Like Billy would always say, I could go so high, and I'm like, you slam dunk, I lay up. We get the same 2 points. I sell more pies off of my layups than you sell off of your slam dunks.
That's so good. That's a good way to put it.
So my cousin Dom did this move when we first opened the shop, and I was so mad at him because I thought it was a customer's pizza. He had it on the paddle. He took it out. Fucking flipped it. The 360 landed straight on the paddle. Nothing moved.
Really?
Yeah. He was like, that's our pizza. I have the video
That's good,
somewhere. Though. Yeah, it was sick. I've never seen a move like it. But I'm not, I'm not going to go to Las Vegas for any of those.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you, like, I feel like the majority of the people that I see, you know, they'll give it the back and forth a couple times, but people aren't like fucking getting wild up there.
My wife did it today. It didn't turn out well. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too much that could go wrong. I know you get like the old schoolers do that. I'm right about quality and volume.
Yeah. I mean, like, that makes sense. It's like work smart, not hard, right?
Yeah. Sometimes, like that Lent menu, we'll be getting crushed flying out the door. And I'm making some stupid pizza, salt and pepper dew pizza I made up. And I'm like, looking at all these fucking ingredients like pine nuts. What the fuck are you doing? I'm in my head like, why did you put this on the menu? So I know if I'm mad about it, my staff's like, fuck Lent, dude.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's funny. Now, I mean, it seems to be something good that you guys are like being able to stay open, make some shit happen. Now, I mean, you're going to open this other shop. Go back. Like, what's the goal? Like, what's the main goal?
I'm hoping to get Brookline open in the next couple months. We have a guy to run it who we just need to get trained.
Yeah.
And then I would love to have. This is how I see it. I see opening a bunch of pizza shops, like almost franchise, but having the restaurant be the flagship, you know, and like have the story on the walls, have all the pictures, and like this is where it started. This is like the original stuff, and just have a tighter menu that is easily duplicated at other spots. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not there, if our best cook isn't there, you want it to be made the same. So, you know, to tighten it up. I don't want to turn into an Italian village where, and that's not a knock on, I actually like a lot of those guys. And the
Pizza's
one in
fire.
South Park's the best, actually.
Pizza's fire.
Yeah. I just meant there are a ton that give them a bad name.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by it.
Yeah, because
you know?
they're not as constrained. It's like anyone, like, it's a wide net.
Correct.
And some of the quality is lower than others, for sure.
Way lower. And the thing is, I actually thought whenever I thought IVP be the last thing standing in the mall.
I know, right?
I think Penny's was.
That's crazy.
I know.
Century 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
like
nothing now.
that dude that was up there was the coolest. I used to work at the coffee shop below, Gloria Jeans.
Yeah.
Hated coffee. Never liked it at all. I used to bring that dude up a triple shot of espresso, and he used to slide me a couple slices in a fountain Pepsi. Best deal in town.
It is, honestly, and that's the bartering with other
It's the best
employees.
fucking
It is the
place
best.
ever. Man,
Like
Century 3, was that your mall?
yeah, I mean, I grew up in
What would you say more, Century 3 or Monroeville?
Century 300%.
100%,
Like 10
right?
minutes from my house. Because I was literally, if I lived on this side of the street, I would have went to South Allegheny, but I lived on this side of the street, I went to McKeesport.
Yeah.
So like I'm already over by 5 minutes from West Mifflin.
Yeah.
So Monroeville was not a hike, but it was. I got to go through.
That's whenever you want to get a little bit of bougie. That's a bougie trip, right
when
there.
it was bougie.
Yeah, I know what it was,
Yeah.
bougie. Dude. It kind of hurts me because like I've groups that I'm part of on Facebook that like show the old pictures of Century 3 and everything, and it's like I worked there in high school, and it's like I knew my brother worked there in high school and shit, and it's like. I don't know. It's just wild to think that it's gone. I spent so much time there, and it's like it was such like a main point. It was a big hangout, and it's just like weird to think about.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
worked
like,
at Aeropostale for like
that's
a
where
week.
he worked.
Did he?
He worked at
Not the same
Aeropostale
time.
for a
I was
minute.
young, and then I was like folding clothes. Like I don't even fold my own.
I
I'm
know,
folding
right?
these shirts.
What are some other jobs you had when you were younger?
Bazone and I worked for the school district.
Oh yeah,
and
the orange shirts.
No, just in the summer, like at the different schools. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
like, you have to
yeah,
like
were you,
clean
like,
out the
painting-
classrooms
yeah.
and stuff. And most of those dudes were like melded in already for the summer anyway. So
Yeah.
like if they ain't doing shit, we ain't doing
Yeah.
shit. So like there's this one morning we're up at McClure and Bazone got this flatbed dolly down the hall and he's taking a nap. Like we were on a break and like these dudes were working in the boiler room and like they're banging shit. And he starts coming down the hall and the dude we're working with, he's like finally gonna get some work out of him. He looks down in the room and is like, I'm trying to take a fucking nap and walk back. So we were never fired. They didn't ask us to come back.
Yeah, that's all right. You parted ways.
Yeah, I mean they paid us, and I'm talking. I know I'm old. I think I got like $5 an hour, on the books. So
Yeah.
like tax, I'm getting like, I mean, I was buying like a bag of Bugles and a Red Bull, and I couldn't even get Red Bull.
I worked at International Village one time. Actually, for a couple years, but I worked the climbing wall. I had to be 13. I was hooking people up on their harnesses, and I think about that now. I'm like, that's sick. That's sick. They put me there, bro. I had a money
Did you have any
belt.
casualties?
No, I had a money belt there, and I was taking people's money, and I was hooking human beings up to the climbing wall. And I swear to God, if I was not 12, I was 50.
Yeah.
I was too young, and I remember thinking about that all the time because, like, I think about it makes me sick at Kennywood because it's like. You see all these kids with these weed pens now, and it's like these motherfuckers are running these machines.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I remember what I was like in high school, and like, I shouldn't have been running machines that could like just derail and kill a bunch of people. I get dark in my head.
That's the like crazy, like the roller coasters like kill somebody. But my nephew works there. He cooks for us too. He's like 17, and he's in the accounting room. Like, dude, they're paying him crazy money. He's 17, and I'm like, he's asking me what I was going to pay him. I was like, I ain't paying you that.
Yeah, I know, right?
They're like he's trusting him to count the money, and I was like, how'd you get in there? He was like, I was real bad at the other job they gave me.
Put him on a fish pond.
He got a promotion by being bad.
I mean, hey, you got a right place, right time. All right, so I mean, like now, if you had to give someone a recommendation, I know I asked you this on the other podcast, but if you had to give someone like a breakdown of what you would recommend them to get right now, are you guys open for seating?
Yeah, so we're and I heard I don't know if it's official that we're going to go up a little bit, but right now
I have
we're 50%.
no idea. I can never keep track.
So we're at like 65 in house, 50% is and we do a ton of we didn't do takeout before at all. Now I probably can't. There's a ton of people who aren't going to come back. It's just going to be the new normal, like picking up and going home to eat.
Now, what's your opinion of that? Like, do you think that your food suffers during takeout to some extent?
I think anything is going
right?
to like even pizza, especially, but pizza holds up better. But it's not as good as like if you eat it right out of the oven,
right
in
out
a
of
restaurant,
the oven,
or if you put it in a box and take it home, or if it sits in the car.
Yeah.
But I think anything. There's certain things, obviously, more than others. Like you get a salad with hot meat on it, it's going to be wilted.
Yeah.
You get some of the desserts melted. I guess stuff like that. But
that's just like something you have to like adapt to with all this, because that's interesting. I bet you there are going to be people that don't ever come back.
For sure. Like, and I still have people, we try our best and we're diligent with it. But we still have people that are just out looking like, Avengers. Like, are you wearing your mask? Or,
you got people that come in and do all that?
I mean, I'm talking customers. We've been inspected a few times. I think LCB, the health board, twice, and it was a COVID task force, I think it's called. We did, passed every time.
Yeah.
We're taking temps, and we're not like, we didn't like let our foot off the gas, but like we weren't getting as much feedback from the guests. And, like, we just had a lady last Friday, like server was running and like her mask went under her nose, and she was like, she wasn't wearing her mask right. I was like, you want to drop the food and put? I didn't say that to her. I was like, thanks so much for your feedback.
Yeah.
Like there are really people that's like they're out. They just want to see.
I mean, I get it. It's such like a hard, everyone's like walking on eggshells nowadays. And it's like, sometimes I don't even notice. Like I have a beard, like the mask slides up sometimes. Like
Mine always goes up.
Bro, if I'm walking in Lowe's holding fucking, rugs and like, cans of paint and this thing dips below my nose, sorry. But I ain't putting 4 cans of paint down to put it. There's people on here that are like, I know that are frustrated with all this shit too. And I know that there's people who are like, you're fucked up. You need to do all that, whatever. But it's like, we're all trying to function out here.
I know.
We're all trying to function.
There's no anymore in the restaurant industry, and this isn't like a political statement by any stretch, but nobody listens to anybody anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's no middle ground on anything.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like if her mask went down, then all of a sudden we're not COVID compliant and we want people to die.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I know people were.
There's no in between on
0
anything
to 100
anymore.
real quick.
Yeah.
And like
it's
Drake said.
difficult. I told you when I was like, nervous to come on. I'm like, I talk a lot. Like,
that's all right.
We live in a time of you're stepping on landmines all day.
I know, but I feel like that this also is like something different. Like, it's revealing, but it's also like, it's like admirable. I feel like talking about it and like kind of being vulnerable and like, talking about your feelings with like,
you charging me for this session?
Yeah. That's what I did. It's just therapy over here. But, okay. So, I mean, we're getting the other pizza shop up. That's the next thing on the list, huh?
Yep. And then my goal would be to have the pizza shops to where, they're self-functioning, not self, but like I can go in and check them. And I don't want to be on the line for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the goal is, my son's 3. I'm like, can you fucking roll meatballs yet?
Yeah.
Like I want to get them in the kitchen. But they're not going to want to work. I already know. Would you want to work for your dad?
I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, like, what I had to do construction work. So, I mean, but I feel like that I would enjoy, but also feel like any family business it probably gets stale after a while.
It's hard. I mean, my wife and I work together every day, and then we're at home. So if, there's been a few times, where like some from home comes into work, like it's just normal.
It's
it's
like
not
Royal
like
Rumble.
And if they're like looking at like, why are you fighting? Like, I don't know. Do you fight with your husband? Like,
Yeah,
that's sort of
you
like,
know what I mean. And that's another thing. I mean, that's another good point. It's like you guys are. I mean, that's a whole nother battle. It's like anyone who has a significant other, like you guys butt heads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially there's no outlet for either of us. You know what I mean? Like it's home and it's work and we're together the whole time. And it's awesome. Like
absolutely.
Because I wouldn't want to do it with
but we're
anybody
human
else.
beings.
Correct. So it's very, there are times.
Yeah, absolutely. And anyone on here who thinks like, oh, they're talking about fighting with their significant other, like motherfucker, yins are nuts.
Yeah.
It's like everyone, I'm an asshole sometimes for sure.
Yeah.
My wife goes off sometimes for sure. But in the end, it's all
What's
good.
real funny with the staff is, and this is in general just employees, they don't remember all the shit you did for them.
Yeah.
Like prior to whatever they're mad at you for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's like the all
People
or nothing
live in the
thing.
moment.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
it's
it is.
the all or nothing thing, and it's like you didn't like what I did here, but like can we go over A, B, C, D of the things that like I let slide?
I mean,
'Cause
it's also got to be weird to be in a position as a boss. You know what I mean? Like
it is. So
I'm
I'm
not
not.
someone.
I don't want to be like the
I know.
every single thing. But then when because everybody assumes Ben yelled at me. I didn't. Sometimes I mean you're in the front of the kitchen and I'm in the back in front of the oven and the exhaust fan.
Yeah,
like,
voices get raised so you can hear it.
That is the volume that you're going to hear me. It's not yelling. But anytime you say anything to them at all, I'm very cognizant of doing it with kids. We have like dishwashers and my wife, we call her the buffer. So like if I have like because it just sounds so much better from her and sweeter. Like
I get it.
Even if I intend for it to not sound like I'm reprimanding you, it sounds like I'm reprimanding you.
But I mean, like no one's really like. I mean, I guess. As it all boils down to, it's like people get into like alpha positions, but it's like no one wants to be like that like boss that's like I'm the boss of you. You're going to listen to what the fuck I'm saying, because no one wants to listen to that person. You know what I mean? People want to be treated as an equal and like mind your P's and Q's. But
so
it's like
the problem with that is though, like there are times where like I have to be a boss. So sometimes. It's more difficult to hear now because you think we're equals and we're not equals. You know what I'm saying? So like I can work with you and we can act as equals and we could have fun.
Well,
but when I have to reprimand you, like because
that's where the common sense of the employee has to come in.
You want to write that down for me? We'll take it with me.
I know, but everyone.
No,
all
and I don't want to
beings.
seem like I'm. We have a great staff.
You guys just seem like a family, and in family, people bitch at each other. You get mouthy with each other,
gossip about.
But that's the way I want it to be. Like I don't want people to be like very. That's why I hate working in like I never wanted to work in like a big corporate environment because it's like everyone is just a bunch of fake motherfuckers
So
in there,
fake.
and it's like that's very nice. You're having a good day, but like behind your back, they're like bad mouthing you to like a boss or something. I want you to come to me and just tell
100%.
Tell me that you think I'm a fucking asshole.
Yep, 100%.
And we'll either figure it out together and everything will be fine.
Believe me, I'm an asshole sometimes.
I mean, and that's fine, but you can admit it.
The buffer would tell you, Beth the buffer, that you just got to give me a minute. You know what I mean?
Give it a
When
minute.
we got like 40, and your boy at Streets would tell you, you got 45 tickets hanging.
100%.
Like, I don't want to hear it right now. Like, I don't just talk.
Gotta be
Beth.
overwhelming.
I'll talk to you when we're done. You know,
I mean, like to be a pizza place. Like I've talked, like we mentioned on here with Anthony. Like he gets fucking smacked all the time. It's like. To be someone who's like running a business, I'm sure you're the same way. Lent, everything like that. It got to be like like a pot of water almost boiling over.
So one of the hardest things you just said, like the pizza shop. When we just had the pizza shop, it was hard enough. Like I must have been outside of my mind to turn it into an Italian restaurant and still try and do the pizza shop. So
entrees, on top of entrees, on top of entrees.
So we have like there's like now it's two big and it's a small kitchen, but there's two sets. It's not a pizza shop.
Yeah,
I mean you're a restaurant that sells pizza and rolls.
You're spreading yourself thinner.
Yeah,
it's like 100%. You can't just focus on one thing.
Yeah, it's now I'll say this because I always like places that have tighter menus too. Ours is tight to the point where like I cut probably half of the shit I wanted to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there's like
But you gotta
there's
go-
nothing on there.
You guys got a good variety though. It's not just a bunch of the same shit over and over. It's just like you have a variety because I try to. I'm a creature of habit, but like I try to, spread out a little bit, and I try the different things like the Balboa and shit. I had that. I can't remember the other ones that I've had, but like I don't remember all the names. But I get in there. The pasta's crazy, and I want to try everything off the menu of all these things, and I mean, what can you do? That's just what you got to do. It sucks now because like I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
So it's like me and my wife, we don't have kids. We have a dog now, which is somewhat half of a kid kind of. But it's like
So not to locate your whereabouts.
Yeah.
But where you're at now.
Yeah.
Where is there to eat?
we got fireplaces
You'll
around
have to
here.
give me a.
There's this place called Bean Curd, best Chinese food I've ever had in my entire life, hands down.
Where is are there like shopping centers?
There's
Or
like so there's Donaldson's Crossing, which is right in McMurray, and in McMurray you have people like there's places like Harry's Pizza. That's a recommendation from Anthony Badamo because he's from around here.
Yeah, I heard him say Peters.
Whenever I was talking about in one of the intros or something like that, I said, I'll tell you where the best Chinese food that I've ever had in my life is. And he hit me up and he was like, are you talking about Bean Curd? And I was like, yeah. He was like, bro, it's insane. And because my boys at work were telling me like Bean Curd it's the truth.
Yeah.
And I went there and like they're doing God's work in there because it's crazy. I'm telling you. And like, believe me, I grew up on China House in White Oak Mall. That was a place where you would go. Like that was the shit.
There was you didn't know any better.
You didn't know any better, but like it was either that or China Jade, and like those were the only two Chinese places you had, and like this place is absolutely ridiculous, and I'll say it on here again. Anywhere it's the best Chinese food I've ever had, but there's that Harry's Pizza. Vincent's is right up over the hill. That's like it's kind of it's good pizza, but it's not like I would consider that like a football pizza. But they got crazy hoagies. They got like some hoagies with like olive spread and shit on there. And like we try to go to all these different places around here. That's
the best part. Yeah,
that's the best part for moving
we're
away.
running out of spots because then you get your spots that you want to keep going to
all the time. Yeah,
and we built a real good rapport with if we're plugging restaurants, Duke's in Homestead and Eighth and Hayes, same family, like wine bar, upscale menu, and then Duke's. They're right on 8th Avenue, like above waterfront. Duke are super nice family. They support us. We go anytime we can down there, but. We are running out of like I know there's a million places we could eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was just looking at we never ate at Kaya, and I was looking at the menu. And I was like, the menu looked great. So Beth's doing the keto shit, and I was like, you gotta like I own an Italian restaurant. Can you not tell people that you're like not eating pizza or pasta right now? Like, how's the food? His wife doesn't eat it. So
dude, there's a lot of great places around here. I never frequented the Strip ever until like because I grew up at McKeesport, and it was just like. I stayed over there. We had fucking, the typical places that you would go. But
we were kids we didn't go eat anywhere.
I know.
Like that. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
We went to Lucci's.
That's it. We would go to Lucci's, and we would go to on the weekends we'd go to Chivalrini's.
But can you ever remember your parents taking you to like Shady Side or
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I never frequented the city.
Same.
And then I moved over to where I moved in Ingram, and it was just like, Antoinette likes, like I said, we didn't have kids. We're both young. We're just out trying to. Now. Yeah, we basically got one. She's fucking nuts, that dog. But she, like we would go out and just try to find different food, and it's like. Going down the Strip, we never had all these different places, and then we started to try, have you ever had Salim's?
No. Is that how you say it? I thought it was Salem's.
Dude, everyone says everything.
Yeah.
You hear it on the radio as Salem's. I've heard Ralph is the one who told me it was Salim's, but that might be the craziest place in the city.
I heard it's awesome.
It's the most slept on place.
I think somebody that a girl that works for me is friends with because she keeps telling us to go.
Bro, 100%. It's someplace. If Anthony Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain did that episode here. I don't know where the fuck he went, but that's the type of place that like a chef would go.
Yeah.
You know how you watch them sick shows on Netflix where they're like they'll go in an alleyway like Sam's Hot Dog type shit, where you're just like, oh, this place is back here in the cut, looks shady.
Somebody told me there's a pizza place in Southside outside like that said Michael's. Michael's was good. You ever have it?
Michael's Pizza.
Yeah, I
I
think
never
it's
heard
up
that.
by Nadine's. Maybe.
I never heard that. But dude, there's just a lot of places that you can go to, different random shit, and we like trying everything. Are you a picky eater at all?
No, but I'm not. I'm also not like a eat anything you put in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think I was actually more adventurous when I was younger. To be honest, Beth's the opposite. Like when we were dating, she'd eat a chicken Caesar salad anywhere we went. That's it, in a wrap, in a bowl. Now she's like, we're because
Will
I'm
you
not,
eat like bone marrow and shit?
So, bro, we just had this conversation yesterday because when we were talking about Kaya, I was like, yeah, it's like the same group as Cash Paw. And we love Cash Paw.
I've never been there yet.
That's fire.
Yeah, that's what
we
everyone
actually,
says.
on our anniversary, we had to eat in. It was like at the time when nobody come out.
Yeah.
That shit held up and it was all really good. We got Morton's on Christmas, I think, and it didn't really, it was like, I actually liked Cash Paw first, and like Morton's is supposed to be.
I'd rather drink Mon water than ever go to meat and potatoes again.
So did you eat you didn't like the bone marrow?
Oh no, the bone marrow at Streets is amazing. That's the only time
I had it at meat and potatoes. That's what I'm saying. Beth said it tasted like wet scabs in a swimming pool, and she was like, "I stand by it." It's like 10 years later.
Honestly, though, that was like one of the most disappointing meals that I've ever had. And it's like, we talk about like Yelp on here. It's not that like it was bad. It was just like I was just like. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't like it.
I know why.
But it's just like...
I know why you didn't like it.
Why?
Because you expected a lot going into it.
It wasn't even that I expected a lot. It was just like... I don't know. I just felt that the steak was the most gristly thing I've ever had. But it's also like... I talked this whole game about how I don't badmouth food places. But it's like, I feel that I'm pretty like open-minded to it. But
here's the deal. It's not about... The reviews aren't about bad mouthing. Like, you're going to go to places where the service wasn't good. There's just a right way to go about it.
Bro,
and like
I'm
those
transparent.
reviews, or like if I talk to a manager about it, or like you tell your friends not to go, like that's the normal. That's what I would expect. If you had a bad, you tell your friends, they tell their friends. That's bad enough. I don't need you to tell the internet. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have bad experiences.
Yeah.
And it's the internet part that like it's forever. And those parts like those are always. I know people do because I've done it before. You just scroll. You could have like 500 5 stars. You have 2 1s, and what do you scroll for?
Yeah,
the 2 1s.
It's like whenever Marc-Andre Fleury is in net, and like everyone be like, "Oh yeah, you see that like goal where he fucking rolled on top of his head." People forget those immediately, but that once them soft ones go in, those are the only things I remember.
It is.
Get him out of here.
It is.
We need to trade his fucking ass. Those are the types of people it is.
Is that just Pittsburgh, or is that anywhere?
I think it's everywhere, dude. You got everyone thinks that like Pittsburgh is so unique and everything like that, but I think that there's the same type of people in every other city, because I know that there gotta. I ain't the only one. You know what I mean? There got to be other people doing the same shit, but it's like I don't know, dude. I just appreciate. That's like what I love is just learning about people, learning about people's lives. Yeah, that's all you, Deer Park Strong. I just like learning about like how I know what my life is like. I'm happy with my life. Me and my wife do what we do, and we get stuck in this 9 to 5, and sometimes people just get complacent and they just are fine with just like their lives just pass by. I want to learn about other people. I want to hear what other people do. I want to that's why I hit up random people like a funeral director. People that Pittsburgh Wildlife.
Yeah,
I sent you that,
you
bro. I was like, what is it? I was like, what am I going to talk about this dude for about 2.5 hours? It was one of my favorites.
I'm gonna have to listen, but like the funny part is, I told Beth that I asked you to like send me a couple that I should listen to, just get like a feel for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, babe, you sent me like one from the zoo. I have this it's like a running joke in my family with my kids. It's an unrealistic fear. Irrational fear of getting mauled by an animal in a place that like the animal shouldn't be in. So like I'm standing in line at PNC Park and I get like stomped by an elephant.
Yeah.
Or like I'm serious. Like I have these dreams. Like 14 like possums are gonna suffocate me on like this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, if we were in the woods, man, the bear. I just like you could go. Like I just let them take me because I'm like you can go.
Yeah, I just lay down. But what were
So
you?
the zoo,
Yeah.
she was laughing because I don't like animals. I don't dislike animals. You got to be very specific.
Yeah.
I love, we have a dog. We just got a puppy too in July.
Oh, did you?
I love other people. And I love what animals do.
Was your
I
dog
don't-
crazy?
It's still crazy.
Yeah.
Like if we did this at my house, you'd have to leave.
What kind of dog is it?
We got a beagle. And I think we rescued him. I can't believe his
Yeah.
name's Bruno Barksdale.
Yeah. Bruno Barksdale.
Well, the kids obviously named
Yeah.
the first name. I threw the middle name in because I just wanted him to have like in the yard, like Barksdale's corner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like where his tether is.
That's the best.
So no, he's insane. He has his own room. It's destroyed now. If we ever want to sell the house, it's just it's not a 4-bedroom. It's 3 now.
Yeah.
He just like full speed to the door. We don't keep him in a crate, but like we're not home all day, so like we'll take turns. And like my wife's obviously like the rock star with it, and like
Yeah.
my son wants to ride him like he's a horse. And
Yeah.
they're like the same height, so they think they're like messing around. He doesn't, dude. He runs full speed to the door and like headbutts the door, and the whole house shakes. And like I'm gonna have to put another door. I already told you, Kane's gonna put the door up, but there's like sawdust coming from the door. Like he's
Dude, dogs are wild. And did you grow up with dogs?
So we did not until we had a beagle, and Beth had a beagle too. So we had a beagle named Zoe, and my mom got her the weekend I left to go to Slippery Rock. I wanted a dog my whole life. You got a dog, I went to college. So I'd come home on the weekends, and she didn't know me. She's like growling at me, wants to attack me. I was like, this is my house. Like I left.
So
I wanted
funny.
a dog my whole life. So she was a great dog. Her biggest problem was like she garbage, dude. Like you leave a garbage can around or like a
Rip it all apart.
Oh my god.
But it's like we got this dog, and it's like I grew up with dogs, and like
What'd you get? Because I didn't listen.
she's a pit poodle mix. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's wild. Supposedly,
poodle, that's sick.
Supposedly, the female was a poodle, and the neighbor had a standard, or the female was a pit bull. The neighbor had a standard poodle, and he was just giving her the business at night, I guess. And once the people found out she was pregnant, they took her to the rescue because they didn't want to deal with puppies.
Yeah.
And she was from Kentucky. They flew her up here, and
She's being pretty good. She only barked a little bit.
dude, she's sick. She puts
I
on
saw
her
you,
best
put up-
behavior.
She bit you the other day.
Bro, she's wild. And it ain't even like mean.
Yeah.
It's just like,
They want to play.
Bro.
Like Bruno's teething real bad in the summer, so like he
Insane.
bite everything. He's gotten a little bit better with it.
it's insane. Because we'll be playing, and then she'll just change her focus from like a sleeve to your hand, and is just relentless.
Yeah.
And then you're like, bro, you ain't biting my sleeve. She'll start growling at me, and I'm just like, this is sick.
So we had like a unreal amount of old shoes in the
Yeah.
garage for some reason that we like never got rid of.
Yeah.
We give him like a shoe a day. Honestly, like he just tears it up. He loves it. He loves it.
That's funny. It's cool to grow up. I mean, it's fun to grow up.
We haven't slept in like the last 10 years because like my daughter,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't say it. We had like a little period, but then Enzo's finally going to bed now, and then we
Yeah.
got the dog just all night. You don't know what he's going to do.
I
all
know.
night. And he ain't coming into bed. 100% he ain't coming in bed with
See,
us.
we have her come in every once in a while, but not all the time. We're trying to establish, like, this ain't all the time. But
They don't know what time is.
yeah, but like,
We don't even let him in our bedroom.
oh wow, how's he deal with it at night? Does he
He's
whine?
right next to us.
Does he whine?
No, he's actually very good at it.
See, she'll be tripping. Tripping.
His safe space is just out in the living room. Like he'll
Yeah.
lay on us. We have like a big bay window. He'll like lay in the window. My son will lay next to him.
She's fucking nuts, dude. Dog's crazy.
How
but
old
I'm
is she though?
4 months.
Yeah,
About to be
yeah.
4 months.
Yeah.
So we got some time. She just lost her first 2 teeth, praise God, because I just need them to be gone. I want them fangs. She got like snake fangs.
Really?
Right now. They're like hooks. And it's like, no matter what, even if she's mouthing you just as fun, it fucking hurts.
His biggest thing, he's loud as fuck. So
Yeah.
like barking.
Yeah.
We want to put him outside and like let him run. Like,
Yeah.
you run like.
But he'll just start barking.
As soon as he goes outside,
Yeah.
we're like, and then he doesn't want to come in. We're like, you can't stay out here. Like,
Yeah.
you could hear him like 2 blocks away.
I know,
mean,
it's
so
crazy.
loud.
We had a neighbor, it was across the street, had a beagle. I just wanted to fucking
know.
go nuts.
It's the beagle yelp, and then like you don't think like when it's in the house, you hear it. And then I'm getting in my car one day, I'm like, it's like it's standing right, he's standing right next to me.
Can't do it. It's crazy.
Yeah, the beagle yelp's a real thing. He's a
So,
good dog, though.
how do you have time to do all this stuff? I mean, if you're running this restaurant, you're opening pizza places, it's just you and your wife killing
great
it.
people we're working with, honestly, because
Yeah.
like Billy and Brandon, I don't even mess with Billy and Brandon. They do their own thing. Like I got to deal with some, customers sometimes, and we'll talk like menus and stuff. But Billy, they pretty much have free reign. And then Beth, my wife, I mean, I can't overstate it. I couldn't do anything without her. Like she does everything. So like the dog stuff and the kid stuff, like I'm such a bitch when it comes to like being tired and stuff, or like when how dudes are like work all day. You could ask your boy this hit streets, working a 12-hour shift for 3 days in a weekend, like in a row, is not like a normal 36-hour work week. You know what I mean? Like you are like,
I know it's
destroyed.
It's crazy.
I don't know how we do anything, but my wife somehow, like, no matter how tired she is, like,
that's my fascination, dude. Like, that's why I have so much respect for, you guys who own this and any other business. I mean, it's just like a constant thing.
So people don't see like just today, man, like we had to get a new dishwasher. We had trouble with some electric. We had there were a bunch, something with a vendor, something with an employee, something with a cooler, something with like Monday's my day off. You ain't off. Like if I'm not in the restaurant, if you come in and see me and I'm not there, like people think you're never off. Like it never stops.
On call.
It's not the call doesn't even hang up ever though. It's just like the same. Like you just got so many different angles of people that are coming at you.
You're balancing plates,
and people think and don't take this because if you ask me for anything, I would do it. But there are people that I'm not that cool with.
Yeah.
I'll get a text at like 6:30 on a Friday. Lying out the door, and they're like, "Hey, you think you could get me a table? Hey, you think you could sneak me a pizza?" No, like I don't even answer it because I'm like, it's nonstop. Sometimes. If you think about how much we do, and I don't think people realize how much we do, but I couldn't do if I were a single, even if I didn't have kids, if I were a single man, I think I'd be worse off than I am with like, you would think like, oh, you got more time, you don't have kids. But if I didn't have Beth, we wouldn't, how we say train keeps rolling, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Well, she's riding it because it's stopping if she jumps off.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I don't know, dude, I'm thankful just even to have her, with everything just around the house. I can't even imagine the rest of it. But I am, I'm pumped about your success. I'd like to move to the last segment of the podcast if I could.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to be overwhelmed by it. We got some questions. Last segment of the podcast.
Am I giving off that vibe?
Oh, yeah. You're definitely going to be overwhelmed.
Right.
Last segment of the podcast that I do with everyone is something called Desert Island Questions. Give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island to exhaust until they starve to death. So the first category to take with you on a desert island is 3 movies to watch. Okay. So in this situation, you're Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks and Tom Hanks. That's disrespectful to me. You're Tom Hanks in Castaway, and you just have a TV and a DVD player. So you get 3 DVDs.
All right. I'm going with Goodfellas.
You're Goodfellas over Casino?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I love Casino.
Yeah, I know.
Goodfellas is like.
But I feel like you either pick one or the other.
Yeah, I agree. And then I got to laugh. I guess so I'm gonna go Major League and Ace Ventura. 1.
Oh, those are so good. Those are 3 good. Those are solid picks. Ace Ventura 1 was.
I feel like that was up my like that's a good one to get my feet under me.
I like that because usually I ask them questions and I hope that like people don't have any prepared answers and whatever movies come to their mind, just that's what they really are thinking of. I thought you were about to say Major Payne, but that's a good one too, though.
It is good. I'm not. It ain't top 3.
Those are good though, but
so. I know it's not exactly the same, but we play every day in the kitchen. Would you rather? And I come up with this. None of these we can talk about.
Yeah.
Like, on here. But like I feel like I'm pretty good at like thinking fast because it's like
yeah, you're supposed to. That's, on your toes all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So instead of I usually ask people 3 books to take with them on a desert island, but I want you.
I read.
What?
I don't look like I read.
No. You do look like you read, but I want your. This is where I get. You don't read at all.
Not. I need to read a little bit. I read from time to time. Yeah. I think in the last year, I read 3 books last year.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were they all business books?
I don't even remember them, to be honest. Like I don't. My mind moves, so I can't remember what happened like in the first chapter. You know what I mean? Like
I'm the same way.
I don't remember.
I got to read the same page like 15 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of 3 books, I want to know 3 of your favorite restaurants in the city to eat.
Awesome. All right. So we're gonna go with Alla Familia.
I've never been there yet. Everyone's been telling me about
tremendous. To me, it's top notch, best in the city.
Wow.
Just honestly, the attention to detail, and people be like, "Oh, it's so much money, man."
You get what you pay for.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if
hey,
you
I ain't scared to pay.
no,
for
like
a
it's
nice
good. It's
meal.
worth the experience. It's not even just the food. Like it's the best. And it's funny, man. It's in the middle of Allentown. You think like they're valeting you. You think you're getting carjacked. You know what I mean?
know,
Like
right?
I'm like,
It's crazy.
I don't even know where I'm at. I'm like, where is the restaurant? It's like right.
Yeah, I've never been there yet, but I've there's a lot of people
Yeah,
that
it's
told me
fire.
it's
That's
amazing.
definitely the first one.
They said their dessert's crazy too.
And I'm picking one of the Duke car spots, but I'm going to go with Eighth and Hayes instead of Duke's. And I feel like I'm going to say when I'm going to miss like a layup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody that like a place we really like. Did you ever go to Roto's in White Oak?
Yeah.
We used to go there all the time. when
Yeah,
we
it's
lived
good
there.
stuff.
I haven't been there in a long time though. I'm not ready to make that sort of commitment after a couple years.
Yeah, that's crazy. What was your favorite pizza growing up?
I was a Veltry's guy always.
Yeah,
So,
okay. I know I'm supposed to talk to Vince here soon, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna get.
So
him.
our oven at the pizza shop, it's Veltry's old oven.
Really?
Yeah. So do you know Andy from Patty's Bakery?
No.
Andy Macy.
Oh, I do know who.
Yeah.
I know of him.
Super nice. They kept that oven.
I know.
To bake bread in.
Yeah.
And they weren't baking enough bread, so it was just so I bought it off of him.
Yeah.
And then now he just took over Veltry's.
Yeah.
Pizza shop.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I texted him. Patty's. So Andy's and I don't know who's running it or.
Yeah, because I know Vince. Whenever I talked to Vince, he
I
was
think
like,
Vince is like helping them out. You know what I mean?
yeah, he was. He was like, can we wait a little bit before I do this? Because he was pumped to talk to me. I was like, damn, like it's cool. He's an old guy, for him to be for old people to be responsive to this. I love it.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm about to retire. I want to get them up on their feet, and then I'll get back with you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think he's helping them out. But Andy, as soon as I found out he was getting the pizza shop, I texted him. I was like, you can't get that oven back. I love that oven.
Yeah.
Thought as we were talking, I thought of my third spot. It's in, I think it's like Monongahela. It's called V&V Scratch Kitchen.
V&V Scratch Kitchen.
Yep, dude, it's unreal. Like, it's
feel
like
like-
you order at the counter and you go. I mean, if you follow them on Instagram, even the stuff he does just for like, I think he's like a classically trained chef. That,
Yeah.
like got out of the corporate world and like his family. I think the V and the V is for like his kids.
Yeah.
And there's like all servers, hands on deck. You order here, you sit down, you got your number. But we're talking like, I don't even remember. Like everything's just unbelievable.
Walmart shit.
Yeah. We've been there 3 times because it's not close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think 3 times in the last year since we found out about it. The basic menu's fire. The specials are unreal. And when he does specials for like Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, we're
Crazy.
talking like the crazy high end stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
I'm gonna have to go to that
I'm looking
place.
up words on some of this stuff. You know what I mean? And he's
I'm gonna
like,
have to go to that place.
Fire. I don't know them personally.
Yeah.
The service was amazing. We left a great review. Took me a minute because we haven't been there in a while, but I would say, and I should have asked her, are we taking our kids or is it me and Beth? Is it me? It's me,
Yeah.
right? I'm on the island myself.
Yeah.
That's a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's on yourself.
I should have went three chalupas and a cheesy roll up.
3 chalupas with some Dots chicken soup.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Crazy. Okay, so third category, 3 CDs to take with you.
They're not. So people mistake these answers all the time for you saying they're the best. And they're not the best. They're your favorite.
Favorite. That's
2
perfect.
completely different things. I'm sure there's like technically better, musically and
100%. These are things that you have to listen to every
so
single day.
Weezer Pinkerton changed my life when I was like 17 on a flight back from Italy.
I
Actually,
would have never in my life would have thought you would have said Weezer.
why?
Because everyone from
That's-
McKee Sports says Tupac.
No, I actually I like Pac more as I'm older, but I was Biggie. I was fat. I had to support the big
100%. If you were a
But
fat
I see
dude-
some of the. I know it doesn't look like it, but I saw. What did you have? Mayday Parade for
Yeah.
your wedding? Like, yeah, Taking Back Sunday is like one of my favorite bands. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's my John. Brand new. I saw it Club Laga before
yeah.
Laga, and then I started. I went to a Taking Back show and like.
I loved going to shows back
were the
then.
best.
You remember remember Phylum? They were a McKee Sport band. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
do.
like Josh Belak
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah, I did.
It's like
it was. Wasn't that
that
John
was
Carter's brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I just talked to I just talked to John Cotter the other day. He actually sold me my bike.
Really?
He works at Kindred Bikes down in the Strip.
My first job, Pizza and Gyro, I worked with Cotter. We became good friends.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
What a small world.
We may have graduated together, but like same age, but we didn't really get tight until Pizza and Gyro. So Pinkerton, I'm a huge Killers fan.
So good.
I know. And I did this thing on Facebook not too long ago with the 10 albums, and I got drilled for like taking the easy one. And it's so hard. It's like honestly, I went to Brooklyn by myself to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
My wife's starting to come around. She hated them.
Yeah.
But live.
Hated the Killers.
She didn't respect Brandon Flowers the way that it should have been respected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like she's not we love a lot of the same music.
Yeah.
Like pop punk and like emo are not her. I was probably more pop punk than emo, to be honest. Like the hardest I was doing was like Brand New. Like I was
born in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Black Parade, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Nah. I was like
that's sick though. Brand New. That was one of my favorite bands too. It's like
they were sick.
It's like it just makes me feel like a cool summer night. You know, a little bit of Brand New kills it. Wait, so you said Weezer, Pinkerton. What did you say for the second one?
It's a Killers. I'm gonna go with Sam's Town. So, second.
Okay. Yeah. There's a really cool TV show on Netflix. It's called like the song. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to send it to you after, but they break down songs completely, and they broke down When We Were Young of the Killers, and you get to see like all the behind the scenes shit. Dude, it's dope.
That's one of my favorites.
Very, very dope.
And then
did you watch the Biggie documentary?
So I started it, and I had to go, and I just got to where his sick Uncle Dave was rapping.
Crazy.
Uncle Dave's
crazy,
sick, right?
From Jamaica.
Uncle Dave is sick. Did you ever watch The Shy?
No.
There's this dude on there, like this old. He's like an old gangster, but he's like straight now. He looks like Uncle Dave with like a do-rag on. I thought it was the same guy.
I loved Biggie just because I was a fat kid, so it's like I didn't have no six pack like Tupac. You know, it's my brother.
I always said like I wasn't angry, like Pac was angry, like I wasn't mad. Biggie wanted to party. You know?
Biggie was out there for doing it for the big dudes.
I will say though, hit him up like regardless of
illest.
You got to be the best.
Illest.
You got to be. Now, actually, you know the greatest diss track of all time, Justin Bieber, "Love Yourself." Hands down, the best diss track of all time.
I'm a Bieber fan.
Bieber, I love Bieber. Bieber's mom loves everybody in the world except Selena Gomez.
That's true.
That's a sick.
That's sick.
You can't recover from that.
That's sick. That's sick for sure. It's
I'm talking Bieber, and I'm going to go with my next.
That's all right.
Where are you at?
That's all right. This is why we do this podcast.
I'm going Counting Crows, August, and everything.
Holy shit, Counting Crows.
Yeah,
you have a very, very interesting taste in music. And
dude, if you gave me more than 3, it'd be like way more different. But
what about one more? If you had to pick one more,
probably Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. There you go. My favorite live performance of all time probably is whenever Prince is playing guitar as my guitar gently weeps.
Bro. Did we talk about this before?
No.
Did we just become best friends?
Is that yours?
I just showed Beth. She never saw the solo.
Bro.
It's the sickest thing
Honestly,
I've ever seen.
I'll be honest. I didn't know much about Prince. I never was a big fan or anything. And my buddy sent me this, and he was like, Prince rips this motherfucker in half.
Here's what people don't understand about Prince. He's definitely a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Strange, for sure.
Musically, like, you have no idea the instruments in the...
I feel weird about...
You know he wrote Nothing Compares to You, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually, whenever we went to Portland or Seattle a couple years ago, there was a huge Prince exhibit. Crazy. They had that one. They had a Jimi Hendrix one. We got to see what he played the Star Spangled Banner on.
Do you have a favorite Prince song?
I mean, I not really. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. I Want to Be Your Lover. It's my favorite. If you ever watched the video, bro got on a see-through leopard print blouse.
Yeah,
like deep V. I'm talking like deep V to the belly button with like his hair's relaxed.
He's ill
that
for
was his
sure.
Debut single. Like, this motherfucker came out looking like this.
No fucks given.
None. Zero.
And you got to respect that. That's a good 4 CDs. So you had Weezer, you had The Killers, you had Counting Crows, and you had Prince.
Yeah.
What can you want more than that?
Look, if street cred asks, I love hip hop, I do. But like, I need
street cred ass.
Like, if my street cred is questioned.
If you got to pick one rap album.
Ooh, why are you coming at me like that?
Coming at you like that.
I'm trying. I mean, it's probably like nothing that anybody would Probably DMX. It's dark and hell is hot. To be honest.
I mean, DMX is it's hard as nails.
That's off the top of my head. Like
That's
if I
fine.
sat, I'd be like. But at the time when that came out, we were like. Bazone woke me up for 2 straight years across the street with All Eyes on Me, Tupac, just blaring across the street. And it was back in the day when you had to we had cassette tape players in the car.
Yeah.
So you'd have to record from the CD to the cassette.
Yeah.
And Master P, Ghetto Dope.
Yeah.
And there was another one. I forget what the song was. It was somebody that was with No Limit. He recorded every other song to be that song, so you didn't have to rewind it on the cassette tape. It's the sickest tape ever.
That's the funniest.
No, I got to do it.
I had a mixtape like that with Ghetto Cowboy just over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Incredible.
It's the truth.
So, 3-6 Slob on My Knob.
Yeah.
It was made into it's a Young Jeezy song now or something, but
yeah.
Beth wouldn't let me name my lobster nachos Slob on My Lob.
Oh,
I think it's amazing.
That's a good name. That's a little bit, people wouldn't even know what that was, but the people that did know what that was, they'd be like,
I think it's amazing. And I got to do a redo on
Go ahead.
DMX. I got to go Jay-Z Black Album.
All right. I'm not a Jay-Z guy too much.
It's okay.
I know,
okay.
but I feel weird about it that I'm not. I liked the Blueprint, the original, but I don't know, dude. He's just fun. I'm also not an audiophile, really. I like very weird shit. I'm very nichey, but
Who's
like
your
I said,
favorite rapper?
Favorite rapper? I don't know, dude. It would have to be a group. It would just be nostalgia, and it would either have to be like Bone Thugs and Harmony, or probably fucking. Oh.
So if we're going group wise, but my favorite rapper, just singular, is Andre 3000. That's my favorite rapper.
Super hard.
Yeah.
But it's
just real cerebral. You got to listen to it a couple times.
Biggie is everything for me, but that's my favorite rapper is Biggie, but it would have to be a group. It's it's all bangers. I surprised my brother with tickets to go meet him. We had VIP meet and greets for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
No way.
It was the illest.
Your brother, I don't know if he remembers this, Leach, Leach lived on Fawcett. He had the Bone Thugs blacklight. And I remember playing Bone Thugs and them drinking 40s, us drinking 40s in the basement
the best.
of his
That's the best.
Leach would just play Bone Thugs all the time.
I know. And where do you think I got all my music from? That's the only reason I even liked all that is because they were obsessed with that shit. And it's I remember all that. It's crazy. I got all my flavor from my brother.
Yeah.
That's what that was a benefit of it all. But okay, so the third to last question is the death row meal. So if you get one meal for the rest of your life, or one meal before you die, what's your last meal that you would pick?
All right. Define meal.
A meal. You can get a full.
Can I get some sides?
Everything.
And can they be from different places?
Everywhere. Okay. Wherever you want, as much as you want.
You got it. So I'm taking my grandma's dough ball soup.
Yeah.
My uncle's brajol.
Okay.
I'm taking 4 Yoli rolls with pepperoni and banana peppers. And I'm taking, I gotta have some sort of. I'd probably do the vodka pasta alla familia.
Oh, I love a vodka sauce.
Bro, it comes with the meal. It's so light, and it's
it's my favorite.
You gotta, if you go here, this is my advice. You gotta calm the fuck down because your meal's not coming yet. All this stuff's there, and they got all these different butters with whipped goat cheeses and breads, and the salad had. I actually just pulled this move. I don't consider it stealing when you go to a place and it's it sparks something in your head.
Yeah,
I didn't do it exactly, but this motherfucker soaked golden raisins in Marsala wine. I did that. We did a real sick Valentine's Day menu, and I did it. It's tremendous. So, off on a tangent, but vodka pasta from Alla Familia, and dessert is going to be my grandma's carrot cake.
Carrot cake.
Yeah, it's fire. Cream cheese icing.
Wow, carrot cake. I love a carrot cake.
But I have to have milk for my whole meal. That's what I want. I almost asked you for milk today, to be honest.
Get out of here. I don't even have milk.
I almost asked Turner's milk.
I would have got it for you for sure, and it would have been Turner's.
You would have been chocolate milk? No, I want milk.
Bro, I can't remember the last time I drank a white milk.
We go through 6 gallons of milk in my house a week. My daughter, it's all she drinks. It's all I drink. It's probably me and my daughter. Yeah, that's it.
Milk.
I love milk, bro.
I don't know the last time in my
drink-
life that I had just a cup of milk.
Bro, I'm not on heroin. I like milk.
You
You're
know
looking
how-
at me real crazy right now.
You know what was real sick is I remember when my parents, whenever like it wasn't even like my parents, but it was like my aunts, like one in particular. She would make you have like a tall glass of milk with like a fucking plate of spaghetti.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're sick.
Best aunt ever. No, the best is like with, I don't know, like pot roast. Like,
No,
dude, I
the
love
best
milk.
is what it is with Oreos, and that's it.
I can't eat ice cream without milk. I gotta have milk with the ice cream.
What?
What do you put on your cereal?
Bro, you're sick. I just feel like I don't know. Maybe I'll get a white Turner's milk tomorrow and try it out. 2%.
I thought we were gonna get in a Turner's debate.
What about it?
Billy and Brandon. Like I grew up on Turner's, right?
Yeah.
So,
What Ian's got?
bro, at the pizza shop, I let them. You got to understand something here.
They got.
okay?
What do they got? Schneider's.
You got to understand something. Schneider lives in
I
Turner's
know.
is Penn Hills.
I know. Munhall, Baldwin, all them. They're all Schneider's people.
So we're in like Pleasant Hills, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Gus Grad. That's where their family lives.
Yeah.
I let them. Billy and Brandon always hated on me for my boy Kevin would come in and like hide Schneider's around the restaurant because he was mad I didn't have it. So I'd use all Turner's in my restaurant. Any other place, I swear to God, I use Turner's. But I promised Brandon and Billy if they had their own place because that's all they wanted was Schneider's. I don't want to lose friends over this. It's
That's
a
fine.
very sick debate.
That's fine.
But I will say this. Justin Schneider is, I consider him a friend. He lives like their dairy is in our delivery range. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
That's
that's
all
our
right.
community.
Hey, you don't got to justify nothing to me.
It's our community. Look, he tried getting me forever, Justin. He was so happy when we first opened, and we're friends. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Turn him away. It was all Turners. I gave in to Brandon and Billy. It was like lose two good cooks. They were ready to walk.
Yeah.
If they didn't have Stein. I'm not even kidding. They were ready to walk. It was a heated debate.
Hey, that's all right.
When you talk to your people with Turners, I did not give up easy. It's only at one location.
What do you got at Yoli's?
I use all Turner, but we don't use I have soft drinks, but all my I use Turner's everything. All my other cooking
Amen.
products. And
You know what I mean?
You know how much heavy cream I go through.
I know it got to be a lot.
It's
but
sick.
There ain't nothing better. I don't care who it is. Schneider's name ain't ringing bells like Turner's. And that's,
No. You're 100% right.
I know.
But I still, like I said, I know Justin's a great fan. They still got to eat too.
Justin.
And my whole thing is everybody can eat.
Come on in here. Let's talk about it.
think
You know
they-
what I mean?
yeah.
I'd love to get Justin Schneider and Steve Turner on here
same,
together and
Do
give
you
them.
think it's like a real life like hate? Because like I don't dislike any other pizza. We're all trying to eat.
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
So like even the guy up the hill, I won't say his name because he's real close to me.
Yeah.
But his pizza's good and he's doing a family business.
Yeah.
And, we're all trying to eat.
People are out of their mind. If anyone is doing what you're doing and people are like salty about it, you're out of your mind. That's like me being mad at someone for starting a podcast. It's the most saturated. I feed off of it.
Yeah.
There ain't no one that's doing shit that like I'm doing.
So-
and I will set myself aside from everyone. You know what I mean?
There's two bars around us. Again, not going to name names. Not because I like the guy and I like the places, but I don't want it to seem like talking shit because I'm not. But I have staff members. They just like changed ownerships and they did a lot of nice things.
Yeah.
And the places are great, but
Yeah.
they're bars.
Yeah.
They have food, but they're bars. My staff's like worried they're going to take our competition. I said, I don't mean this disrespectfully at all. They're not our competition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we're
people that are going to get bar food are not the people that are coming to get
you
Italian.
could do both if you want. You want to
Bro.
eat at my place at 6 and go there and
100%.
Drink at 9 and 10.
I'll go to
like,
Hoots and I'll go to Luigi's. I'll go your place. I'll go everywhere.
I don't worry about. Once you start worrying about everybody else, your shit sucks.
100%, dude. You got to be out there just doing your own shit, and you got to be out there just, you got to be passionate about it. And that's all the cream is always rising to the top, and that's what it is.
I dropped that heavy cream reference in there.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's right in my mind. You already know.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Turner's, no big deal.
Speaking of cream, like a year ago, I just found out that it meant casseroles, everything around me. Knew the song, loved the song, sang it all the time. The periods, like I got the Wu-Tangy chicken on the menu. We do the chicken spelled with the periods like cream. And I didn't know like they actually stood for casseroles, everything around me.
The more you know.
I know.
How sick
it was
is
like
that
an
now?
epiphany.
How sick is that now listening to this
No,
song?
it's way better. And it couldn't have got much better. I almost went
Wu-Tang?
Enter the 36
Yeah.
Chambers, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's understandable. Okay, where are we at? Oh, yeah, second to last question. So I do, we're sponsored by Turner's up in this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Say it again. Sponsored by Turner's, ringing bells. The orange flying in the city. But I do something called the Turner's Crate, where I get each person who's been on here to submit a question into the crate. And people usually draw them. But since, we're in this COVID world, I've been asking everyone the same question that is very revealing. Probably the most revealing question on this podcast. And, it's some good answers, and you will be judged by the way you answer.
Is this it? Like, if I don't answer this right, you're just scrapping the whole first half.
Whole thing's deleted. Thing's deleted. No, I'm just kidding. So if you were, you had to pick, you pulled into a gas station, wherever you want it to be, Double G, the Buy and Fly next to the fucking high school, wherever you want, you get to pick one gas station snack. One. Hard.
What time of day is it?
That's a good question. I want you to answer as if it's 9 in the morning, and then I want you to answer if it's 5 in the afternoon.
Have I eaten yet?
You're not starving, but you had a meal about 2 hours earlier.
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
They don't even make the things anymore, I don't think.
What is it?
So if I'm hungry, this isn't what they make these obviously, but if I'm hungry, nothing. A Snickers is like a meal.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to the Snickers every time because it actually coats it's the steak of candy. It is. Snickers is the steak of candy. You could eat it. And I know those stupid commercials like you hungry, like nothing. If you eat 2 Reese's cups, you're still hollow.
Yeah, it ain't nothing.
You know what I mean? It's nothing.
Yeah, and if you eat 3 Musketeers, that's too light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only thing that is going to be more substantial than that is a payday. You're eating a fucking log of peanuts. I know, it's not the same.
It's dry. Like the chocolate,
Snickers, though, that's what you're going to?
100%.
Over, so you're sweet over savory?
So that's what, if I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I'm
hungry,
just
if you just want a snack.
Picking, and it's not, I said it's not around anymore. I'm not going with that one. I'll tell you what it was after. Ruffles, cheddar and sour cream.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
All right.
We always have them in the house. That's mine.
I ask everyone this, and I always think about my perfect snack of what it would be. And for so long, it was just peach rings and a Turner's. But
you said you delivered pizza.
Yeah.
Did you leave that on your seat when you delivered? So I did. I did Turner's, but I did a bottle just because I had a cup holder.
Yeah.
But the papers
I always had a squirt bottle.
Because it fits. And then
the squirt bottle is actually made in a different place, and that's why it tastes better.
I don't think it tastes better.
It's different. Put 2 of them to the side.
Yeah, but I don't think it's better. I think the nostalgia is in the paper.
You're right. The nostalgia's in the paper, but I'm talking about as now of what you could get.
I've never drank them back to back.
If you could have
have you drank them side by side?
Both of them?
Yeah,
no, but I could tell. But I've had them enough where I
don't believe you. Then
that's fair. That's fair. But that's a fun fact. It's made up in Titusville, PA. But anyway,
delivering pizzas, I'd go Turner's, peach rings, a stick of beef jerky like the good Jack Linkscon teriyaki,
and I was a beef and cheese guy. Huh? I was a beef and cheese guy, side by side.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are good.
You a Slim Jim guy?
You what?
You a Slim Jim guy?
Not really. I'm more of a before growing up, I was Wild Bills because that's what they had back then. But now that they got the Jack Links, but I'm not rich, so
it just dawned on me, and I know this is probably illegal with the question you asked me about the meal. I gotta have. I don't care what you put it on. If it's wrapped something, I gotta have Lampert's paprika bacon.
Paprika bacon
from Lampert's.
Never heard of that one.
You better fucking go.
Man, I will have to fuck with that.
They're the best. Okay.
So, Lampert's is the best. I love that.
That was actually my first job, job. I washed dishes there. They paid me in Turner's and beef jerky.
Wow.
Lampert's. So their son Derek's one of my best friends.
That's wild. It's wild to think about them being up on that hill. Back in the day, but it's cool how they're there now. They got a nice little location.
My cousin Dino is a butcher there.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Huh? I didn't know that. All right. Last question that I ask everyone on here: if you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why? And I feel like it's assumed. You might pick a loved one or something. If it wasn't a loved one.
So don't answer loved one.
Yeah, I would want to talk to my grandfather.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so
it's a hard question.
I want to ask James Gandolfini if he died at the end of Sopranos.
Damn, James Gandolfini. That's a good answer. That would be a really good conversation.
I also heard, I was listening, you're not a Sopranos guy. It's okay. Well, have you watched it since you talked to Anthony?
No.
It's the GOAT.
That's all right. I know that it's
What's your GOAT? What's your one? Actually, Sopranos is not my one anymore.
My one TV show that I feel like everyone has to watch.
Yeah, or that you like was your.
I mean, that's broad. I mean, if you're looking at a sitcom, I mean, like I'm an Office guy like that, but if you're looking for a show with substance, I'm on Snowfall right now.
So good. I didn't start the new one. Are you on
insane.
the new season?
Yeah, it's insane.
It's very good.
I got it done quick, but it's like, I feel like I don't know, like I feel like nothing can beat Breaking Bad.
So I did it wrong. I watched the first. I'm real impulsive. I watched the first 2 seasons and the last season. Like I skipped and watched.
Yeah, you're sick.
Dude, I can't.
You're sick.
Honestly, it should be illegal.
You're like kid on that meme that like takes the bubble tape and just bites right into it instead of peels it out.
Yeah,
bro, that's sick. There's a lot of good shows out. True Detective is one of them.
Yeah, which one?
The first season.
Yeah, first.
Yeah, come on. The second one ain't even worth talking about.
Second wasn't terrible. Did you watch the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third one was a little bit different,
slow.
but the second one, I didn't even get past the first season.
So we were always Sopranos people, and I still am. I mean, it's tremendous.
Yeah.
But we watched Ray Donovan over the quarantine.
I've heard that was amazing.
We watched all 7 seasons in like a week and a half.
I know. That's what my buddy Watch That said. It's amazing. I've heard Justified is amazing. I've heard so many good shows, but it's hard to commit to all of it.
It is.
You ever watch What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
It's one of the funny. Were you an Office guy?
So not like where I could quote shit, but like I'll watch it.
But do you think that type of comedy?
Yeah.
So, What We Do in the Shadows is about these 3 vampires and one of their familiars, and it's just like they've been vampires for forever, but they're living in Staten Island, and it's like up to time, so they're like on computers and shit. So they swear it's fucking raunchy. It is, and it's filmed as like a documentary. Dude,
Speaking
it
of
is the
funny,
funniest.
didn't notice till today you put a memory up.
Yeah.
Did you do stand up?
I did.
How'd that go?
It was good. It went way better than I ever expected. My first time ever doing it was at a March Madness competition.
That's what I saw. You made it pretty far.
Do you know who Matt Light is?
I do. I don't know him. I see him.
So I was on here a couple times with him, and I told him I was like, I always wanted to do stand up, and he was like, well, I got a competition coming up. It's perfect time. So he like called me on my shit right there.
Were you ready?
I mean, like I always wanted to, and I've always had stuff
written, or did you
my phone has been filled up with just premises for years. And he was like, "Oh, well, it'll be in a month. You'll come up, you'll do 5 minutes, and so for the next month, dude, I was just like writing every day, talking into my phone, riding home, like just like literally like waiting for where people would laugh and shit like that. Just like very, very regimented about it." Constantly changing shit, and I ended up making it to the championship round. I came in 3rd out of like 40 people, but
good for you, man.
I was happy with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It went well. We had to do like 4 different nights, and then it felt like some Eminem shit where I was like about to puke on myself.
Yeah, really?
Like, oh yeah, beforehand.
What'd you eat?
Bro, I was never in my life more nervous. I went to Permanis beforehand, didn't even eat though. Because I was so fucking scared. I've never been more scared in my entire life.
Killed it.
Yeah, it just felt like, it felt natural up there. And then went up the next weeks and people voted and shit, and it was dope. I was happy with it. And then right after we did this competition, someone was like, yo, you want to do stand up at this bar? And it was this funny ass bar that we ended up loving and going there all the time. Hole in the wall, looks crazy, best food ever. It's called the Obi House. It's up on West Steuben for people that live over there.
So there's like a Pittsburgh like quarantine page for restaurants on Facebook. They come up there all the time, like food.
Obi House?
People saying to go there, yeah.
Crazy. Bro, it's so slept on. It looks like somewhere. It looks like a restaurant you roll into from dusk till dawn or some shit like that. Like real sick. But honestly, it's the best food. But I went to and did a stand up show there. So the dude was like, "Can you do 10 minutes?" And I was like, "Fuck it, I got this." Cocky kind of. I was like, "We're good. We're all good." And I had a note card up there, and I put it on like the stool. Bro, soon as it started, air conditioning blew my note card away.
No way.
And I like panicked,
Yeah.
and I was like looking around, couldn't find it. My set already started, and I immediately panicked. I was like, I can't start this now, or I can't go into like that because like I didn't have my note card. I bombed 10 minutes, just like
They boo? Or
no,
just
they
quiet?
didn't boo. They
Just
were
quiet?
just quiet. What was worse? It's like a parent saying, "I was disappointed."
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
I'd
And
rather you heckle me.
yeah, I would rather you call me a
something
piece
to
of
say
shit.
something back.
You're fat. You know what I mean? Something like that. But other than that, I did stand up.
I saw it and it made me think of it made me laugh because Billy wanted to do a stand up with me and him. He thinks that he could beat me in a stand up competition.
Oh, yeah.
He's not funny. He's mean. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he's
and,
like
and you can't understand him. And he's like, so these young kids are working there, and I'm like, Billy, I was voted most humorous in my senior class in 2001. Dishwasher was like, well, that was like 20 years ago, so probably not the same type of funny. It's like a 15-year-old kid.
That's funny.
Yeah, it killed me. So, can I give you my opening line for? Because the one kid that works with us thinks that like everything I say to him, he was like, "Is this like the middle?" He thinks it's a stand-up thing. So, none of it is. But
What's
I
the
came
opening
up.
line?
So, all right, hear me out. Goo Goo Dolls, and then I just stand there for like 2 minutes while everybody stares at me. I say nothing else, and I go, "Thanks for having me."
That's it.
That's it.
There you go. I mean, like that's a shock value. I bet you no one would know how to react to that. You wouldn't get booed, I don't think.
People would talk.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What the fuck is that?"
And I change it like, every time. It'd be
Why
like,
the Goo Goo Dolls?
we were listening to the Goo Goo Dolls when he asked me to do
Okay,
it.
I was gonna say you.
I weren't listening to it.
Big
It was
Iris
kinda-
fan. Big Iris fan.
Only if the lights are dimmed and I'm crying.
So James Gandolfini, though, so you would
Yeah,
speak
that was.
to.
Look, you do know you probably torture people. Like I'm gonna drive home right now and like,
Oh
fuck.
yeah, people always will hit me
Yeah.
up and be like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
But
Or
yeah,
like ask my restaurants and I'm gonna have friends like, what the fuck, dude?
but this is why I like it. You know what I mean? Like people really tell who you are. You know, I mean, like you don't have like some perfected answer rehearsed.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I want. That's what I feel other people want. If you're watching, you know, I love certain celebrities and comedians and stuff like that, but I don't like them for what they do, you know, on stand up or anything. I don't even like a lot of stand up. I just like people on as guests on podcasts. You know what I mean? Yeah. And
so do you're like you listen to other podcasts?
Yeah, I'm a big.
Are you a music guy?
Not really. I don't listen
were
to a
you?
lot. I mean,
So like, how did you get into like like the music and the shows that you were going to? If you,
I had, I was more, you know, in the scene of it. You know, I loved all that. The music wasn't like I loved all the music. I'm a big music fan in that regard, but like I don't keep up on anything. I just live in like 2008 to like 2014.
Yeah.
And just the stuff that I was listening to then, and every weekend it was just shows, you know, random places, hole in the wall places, hardcore shows, metal shows, emo shows, and like that's just what I enjoyed. But I was also someone who played
country
football.
though, right?
I listened to country whenever it was good back in the day.
It was never good.
Yeah, it was a couple of them. You tell me you're not going to listen to
I like
fucking,
2 songs.
Which ones? Good.
Chicken Fried.
Oh, get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hey, he said I like 2 country songs.
And Wagon Wheel.
You probably are talking about the fucking Darius Rucker cover.
Yeah, Hootie's the goat.
He is the goat, but it ain't even the...
When I die, I think the entrance to the church is going to be Let Her Cry by Hootie and the Blowfish.
As it should be. And then the next song playing should be All Right, because that's the best. But I was never like a crazy music guy. Like I don't like claim to be like, you know... But I spent some time.
Because I just asked because like I'd listen to these and like if they're ones that interest me, you know what I mean? Like I'll listen to the whole thing, but I find it hard to like...
To listen to 2 hours. How long do you think we've been running?
I don't know, my butt hurts. So.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. We got to button it up.
All right. Buck up, Bart.
We got to button it up. Because I can just talk to everyone for hours. You know what I mean? Like we're the same type of person.
That's
that
why
can just
honestly you
talk.
made it cool because Beth was like, you're just going to fucking talk. Like...
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, what's your thought about it?
It was awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know it was that long.
Were you nervous beforehand?
I was just nervous to say, like, I didn't want to offend.
Yeah,
so here's what happened. I got interviewed. We made it into the Post Gazette when we first opened a pizza shop. Okay.
Yeah.
I got interviewed. Dude's name Munch, super great guy. His real name is Dan Giggler. I don't know if I'm supposed to, if that's like a stage name. I wasn't supposed to say that, but he's super nice. And we were featured. And when you're talking and he's asking questions, I'm just, bullshit. And some of it, he didn't like twist my words, but I said it when I was talking to you before that the job I left before, they're two very good friends of mine.
Yeah.
And I said I hated it. And I hated it. He didn't put, I hated it because I wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
So the one dude, like still, we were very, like he got real butthurt about it. The
yeah.
other dude's like, I don't think, it wasn't meant to be that. You
I
know
know,
what I mean?
I know,
So
but
like the whole time I was talking,
it's
I was
like a
just
text message. You can't tell people's, tone
know.
of voice in a text
know.
message. It's sick.
Yeah.
And that's the world we're living in. I get shunned whenever I call my friends on the phone. They're like, just send me a fucking text.
Yeah. Do you
I'm
call?
like,
I don't call.
I call. You guys are animals.
I'll call you right back.
Yeah, call you right back. There it is. Professionals up in here.
That was the perfect segue.
That was absolute. You're a professional. That's why. But before we go, I want you to tell everyone where they could find you, your Instagram, how they could order, where your address is, all that.
All right. So the restaurant is Yoli's Cucina and Craft House. That's YOLI''S. I'm at 1101 State Route 885, Jefferson Hills, PA 15025. You can find phone number 412-405-8561. And the Yoli's Pies and Rollies is at 1216 Cochrane's Mill Road, 15236 412 655 9654. I think that's right. I don't know. And you can find us at Yoli's Cucina on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's professional. You just rattled that all out pretty well.
I don't. If those numbers are wrong, I apologize. I don't know. It was quick.
It'll add to it. But dude, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're busy. You got kids.
This was fun, man.
I appreciate you taking the trip out here because we're out in the cut.
Yeah, it
is. This is my.
I honestly thought I was getting lured into an abduction.
This is my compound out here. But everyone else that's listening, thank you as usual. Rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. Follow us both on Instagram, Yoli's Cucina, and I'll call you right back. And we're gonna keep churning out fire ass episodes. You already know that. So you already know that. But I'll call you right back.